Alright, so let's do this. I'm going to see if I can get the right lighting. Of course, that lighting was better until it moved, so we're going to do some adjustments here. Really, this thing needs to be up a little higher, maybe. I can go get a pedestal for this thing. Seemed like the lighting's good that way, so I need to move the camera like this. Yeah, I don't really need to see exactly what I'm doing. Lighting was good there. That's when the lighting's good. So, yeah, I'm in one of those moods today. I got to bed about 6 this morning, and I'm working on the Suburban. I'm putting this fuel pump, by the way. This is what I'm doing. And I've discovered a lot of weird shit in this truck. But I'm taking this fuel pump, and this came out of, I think, a Skag commercial lawnmower. So this came out of a Skag commercial lawnmower that has fuel injection. And somebody threw it away, and I said, I can fix it. I fixed it. So this thing, if it runs fuel injection on a Skag, it should run fuel injection on this truck. Because pressure is pressure. This truck doesn't need that much flow. And this thing is made stronger than most of these, like if you go to order on a hot rod magazine. I wish the thing would quit. Wish I could adjust the setting. I can see that it's going from dark to light. I got to figure out where that setting is. Anyway, this is going to work, hopefully. The biggest problem I'm going to have is adapting to the lines, because everything that I have has these fittings on it. So I'm going to have to go far back into the system and take the line off the frame and cut the line up to adapt it to hose clamps, which again is probably going to leak. So I'm probably going to create a leaky problem where I'm going to eventually have to make some professional adapters that connect to this, but let's hope not. So like I said, I got to bed about 6 this morning and got up about 9, and this is what I look like when I don't do anything. I haven't put on my makeup, and just straight out of bed. Didn't even mess with my hair. So yeah, I don't have my makeup on, and I didn't do my hair. But yeah, I really do feel like crap. All right, let's see if we can get this line broke loose here. I see Loud Red's in the chat, Gary. So I got a crazy story to tell. I did a and I don't want this story to like be gloom and doomy or make people feel, oh man, that's horrible, Fry. But here's what happened to me yesterday. So I do IT work for a couple of local businesses here in town still. I have chosen to limit my IT work away from the house because I just don't have time. But I still do work for a couple of local businesses. And I got there on the job. Okay, so he calls me yesterday and says, I need you to install 2 phones for me. I said, okay. I haven't messed with phones in a while, so I'm going to make sure I got all my stuff. So I spent a while getting my tools ready. Showed up on the job, and I know at this job site, the person that installed the phone switch was an good old friend of mine. And so let's see if this line's going to crack loose. Oh, that worked pretty good. I pre-soaked this one line. So I get to the job site, and I got all the phones hooked up and everything. To make a long story short, I said, I don't think I'm going to say his name. I'm going to say is Daryl. It's not his name. That's what I'm used for the story. I said, is Daryl going to come program the phone handsets? Because he's got the software, and he's the one that installed it. He's the one that sold it to this guy. Mind you that this Daryl guy is a very good friend of mine. We haven't been that close in the last, I got transmission fluid coming off the back of my transfer case here. So I'm just mopping that up so I don't get that on my forehead. So as this guy and I were really close, he worked with me. I actually got him his first professional career job working at the company that I worked at. He was one of the smartest people I knew. And anyway, a little bit younger than me, a couple of years or so. So I asked him, is Daryl going to come program these handsets for you? And then he said these words with a really weird look on his face. Daryl's dead. He died 3 months ago in a car accident. And I just said, are you joking? The last Facebook message I got from, quote, Daryl, which that's not his name, but he said, call me when you get a chance. Well, I never got to call Daryl. He died in a car accident, and I just found out yesterday, and he's been dead for probably 2 or 3 months, and I don't know where the accident happened or when, because like I said, we were really close. And then whenever he became a police officer and a sheriff's officer, haven't been able to talk to him that much because we're both so busy. Life catches up with us. So today I'm dealing with a little bit of regret. All right, so this line's going to come off, and we're going to gas and wear a watch. See, that's why I couldn't sleep last night. I think I'm going to put my gloves on before I pull this line loose, because I'm thinking there's going to be some gas coming out of this, and I just don't want it soaking into my skin. Where'd I put my gloves at? I grabbed them. They're not in my toolbox. They're not right here. Oh, they're in my shorts because I switched to put jeans on. So yeah, it's been pretty rough since I found that out yesterday. And so I told the business that I'm working, that I did the phones for yesterday, seeing how Daryl died in a car accident, the one that installed it. And I know that's a horrible name to pick. I'm just going to go ahead and say his name. His name is Jared. I'm going to have to learn how to get into the phone system. Let's hope it's not password protected or anything weird like that. But yeah, so I got a crash course to learn how to program. It's a newer digital set. Back when I was in the phone business, all the sets that I programmed were key sets. So you program them through the secretary set. There was a bigger handset where you did the programming, and this is a newer digital set where you program it either through a web browser or a software application. So I'm going to go, I'm just going to pull the line from back here with paper towels. I really don't want to go and get gloves right now. So I'm going to pull the line from maybe this side. So yeah. Hit me pretty hard yesterday. This is the guy I used to ride four-wheelers with all the time. He had a 660 Raptor. I had a 660 Raptor. We always raced. And he had a Polaris as well. And then he got the Raptor. We had a lot of fun on four-wheelers. Did a lot of traveling together, working. Spent many days in hotels, working out of town. Shared lots of stories. And boom, gone. And the last message I got was, call me when you get a chance. And it was a pretty recent message. So here's what happened. I was pissed off when I got home. It's like, okay, I was just at that crawfish boil and nobody talked about Jared. And then I immediately started contacting some of my other friends. I said, did you know that Jared died in a car accident? And their responses were, well, yeah, we had just assumed you knew. Okay. How am I supposed to know if I don't read the obits every day? So guess what I'm going to start doing every day? And I talked to my dad about it this morning. And he said, son, you're getting at that age where you need to read the obituaries every day. I'm thinking, okay, I guess so, but I started going back through my phone book yesterday. On my phone book, my contact numbers on my phone, and I have a lot of people in my phone that are not with us anymore. So I'm going to make a list one day, and I'll read that on the stream one day, of all my friends that are no longer here. And it can happen that quick is what I'm getting at. All right, so I got that line broke loose. What I'm having to do is take out the metal line that's against the frame. Oh, and the craziest thing, I don't know if you can see this. Whoever had this truck before me, they routed the this thing's got a system in it, and I don't think you can see that, but they routed the heavy duty wire for the power amplifier, the Kenwood amp, right, and tied it right against the fuel line. They tied that wire against the fuel line, and there's spots where it was almost scraping on the frame. So if that thing would have shorted out and started heating up, it was right on the fuel line. So that's what I've been doing for the last 30 minutes, is rerouting this line. I don't know if you can see it. And I'm using the front-facing camera on my phone today so I can see the chat, even though I'm not really reading it. So let me read some of this chat. Like I said, I haven't put on my makeup today, so this is what I look like without makeup. I don't know why I can't say that without laughing, but all right. So we got Loud Red, we got Jared Allen. There's 18 people watching me rant about regret. They don't double check. See the new. Nice to see you, said Shadow. Ghost of the Now, hello Fry. Over from Ride Along Gang. Big shout out to Ride Along Gang. I do lurk people's chat rooms. I just don't go into their chats and say hi enough. Just because when I do that, that obligates me to, you know, stick around for a while talking in the chat, even though I might be watching the stream. And I just don't want to be rude. So I just don't say anything at all. And that's the way I do it. And I know people think, oh, you never come into my chat room. Well, I'm watching your stream. I just never say anything. Just because I just don't have the ability to have hands free most of the time to be in a chat room. Because I'm on my phone. And chatting on a phone is a pain in the butt. So now we're going to take these line clamps off. What would be cool is if I could just find this line at a hardware store and I could butcher this one up, and if I screw it up to the point to where it doesn't work anymore, I could just put the old line set back on there. That would be a perfect world for me right now, but I don't see that happening. So let me finish my story here now. So that actually happened to me about 6 months or a year ago. I lose track of time, so, you know, if you're writing a book, you might want to research this yourself. But I had a good friend of mine that I was really close to, just like Jared. He died last year of a heart attack. He's younger than me, just like Jared. And I didn't find out until, you know, like 3 months or 4 months later. And that one makes a little bit more sense because he had moved out of town. He lives about an hour from here, or lived about an hour from here. So that one made more sense that I wouldn't know. So I really didn't have so much regret there. Then I'm telling myself, am I that much of a hermit? But I don't know. How did everybody else find out? That's my question. What are they doing different? How did they find out so fast? Or, you know, did they find out fast? And I guess that was during the I guess Jared had that accident and died whenever the stream, I was really active with the stream, so I was never doing anything on Facebook. I wasn't doing anything as far as any interaction with anybody. We're going to take this other clamp off this line set. So I'm just trying to figure out how I would not know. And I didn't get to go to his funeral either, so I missed Saul's funeral and Jared's funeral because I didn't know. So I had a friend yesterday, an instant messenger, say call me when you get a chance or call me as soon as you can. So I'm going to call his ass today for sure. That's for damn sure. Alright, so we got that clamp taken off. It's one thing about these trucks is these mud running trucks, there's just a constant film of ick and mud on these things. Alright, so then we're going to take this line loose here. We'll be able to pull this whole thing out here in about a jiffy, whatever a jiffy is. So yeah, I was in Cowboys Mosh's channel last night doing my best to not think about stuff. Okay, so that one's got fuel in this too. That's what I was waiting for. This is why I love working on something that's got fuel. Alright, so now we got this line set where we can slide it out, and it's got fuel in it still, so I'm going to do my best not to drip it on me. Alright, there's something still holding it. What's it holding on here? Oh, we got high and low pressure. We got our return line right there. There we go. Now we're off to see the wizard. So we got this line set out now. So like I said, I'm thinking about going to the auto parts store and ordering this so I can butcher one of them up and I'll have one for backup. It looks like the O-ring's good on this side. So we got a lot of rain yesterday. We got almost 2 inches really fast. So this side, yeah, this O-ring needs a little love. I'm gonna go ahead and take them both off before I lose them. So that's just something stupid that they did with these trucks. The fuel injection was an upgrade, but the yeah, I hope I can get these O-rings. I have a little thing of O-rings somewhere. Just got to find them first. So I'd love to get to the point to where I'm actually doing a test today, but I need to clean this line. I got to figure out how I'm going to interface with the line that I don't have. I'm going to probably eliminate this whole metal line here, but what I need is these fittings. So I'm either going to cut it right here in the braided part, which that's probably what I'm going to do, because if I cut it in the braided part, I can always insert something into the line if it's not too old, but this thing looks almost original. So I'm pretty sure this rubber in here is, I really don't want to keep it in the system, because when you bend this stuff back and forth, it'll send debris, and this is the side that's past the fuel filter. It'll send debris into your fuel system, and you don't want that. So I'm probably going to cut it right here But then the problem is I don't have much to clamp onto. See, this side I have a lot more. So this side I can cut it right before this bend, and then I can put a hose here and put 2 or 3 clamps here. I really need to find my flare tool if I have one. I have a set up to make brake lines, but I don't remember where it is. Yeah, I need to find all my tools. They're just so scattered everywhere. But when I did the brake system on the 65, I redid all the lines, and I think I have them in my toolbox, but who knows. So yeah, these O-rings look almost like they're original. So I probably need to get some of those. But what I need to do is, here's the problem. See, I got an interface where I can put this pump in line. So what I was thinking about doing is cut this line right here and hopefully get enough hose clamp on there to where it doesn't leak. This is the side that's going to leak. Or if I can just go buy lines like this, that might be another thing I can do, and that's probably what I'm going to do first. But I'm going to wash this thing up. So yeah, and then we got to see, we don't know if this thing's going to be enough pressure to run the truck. So this is all could be, and if this pump's not enough pressure to run the truck, I'm just going to buy an aftermarket pressure fuel pump for fuel injection, because I'm not dropping that tank and have to do this all over again. I'm not doing it. I want to be able to, and again, if I get this to work, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to make the system where I'm going to have an extra pump in the truck, in the glove compartment, and I'm going to be able to hot swap this thing under the truck wherever I get stranded. This is not going to, even at nighttime, I'll have the proper tools and everything staged in the truck where I can just swap out the pump. And we're not going there. We're not going there again to where I get stranded in this truck, because that is not fun to have to call somebody or a wrecker to pick you up, especially if it's at nighttime, all that good stuff. So at this point, I'm probably going to make a trip to the auto parts store, and I might start the stream back up here. I promise you I will start the stream up when I'm doing a test, when I go live with the truck. When I turn the key, it'll be live on a stream. But right now I need to wash this line out, or the outside up, so I can just get into the truck without dirtying up the whole place. And I want to go see if I can get something close to this. I need to get O-rings. I want to do this the first time without leaks, and then I'm going to have to run power lines. I'm going to have to tap into the existing fuel pump. Oh, actually, I'm not going to tap into it. I'm going to cut the lines, and I guess I could come off the relay up there, and just because it's almost shorter to come off the relay directly than it would be to tap on the lines back here. Anyway, I'll figure that out later. But I'm going to, I wonder if the neighbors think that I'm going completely nuts. Not just halfway. Sitting there talking to myself under the truck. No, I'm doing a live stream. So, who else is live today? I haven't had a chance to, I've been really busy. Oh, and as far as the tank update, I think Sun Honey was wanting to know about the tank. It came up about 6 inches with all the rain that we got, and it's starting to get dark again. It's been kind of looking that way all morning. So yeah, it looks, yeah, it's starting to rain right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get all my tools right here put up. And perfect timing to go to the hardware store, the auto parts store, whichever one it's going to take to find these lines. Sometimes you can find these lines at a good old hardware store, and the auto parts store might not have them because they just want you to buy the OEM stuff or the aftermarket. So, alright, I can leave my WD-40 out. Can't leave my paper towels. And the creeper's going to be put back in the garage. And then I'm going to read the chat before I stop the stream. So, Queenie, thank you for the $2 super chat. Let's see, I should have disabled the super chats. Because, I don't know. If I would have missed that, I would have felt bad. You know what I'm saying? So let me see what it says. Let's see, whoop whoop. Dropping by real quick. Appreciate it, Queenie. Appreciate the support. I'm working on the big truck. I really need to go jamming today. It'd be awesome if I could get this thing running today. I'll go do my hair, put on my makeup, and we could go for a cruise. I know. I can't say that without laughing every time. But yeah, let's hope I can find the fittings and get everything hooked up today. It'll probably be a 2 or 3 day project to do it right. But I'd love to know if this is going to work. I might sleep a little bit better knowing that I'm not kicking my own butt here by putting an external pump. But the way I look at it is the truck was engineered wrong. So I'm fixing the engineer's stupidity. Oh, just stepped on something really like a nail or something. It's in my shoe. Oh, let's see, it was a piece of metal? No, it was a really short, hard stick. Gotta love it. So the way I look at it is putting the fuel pump in the tank is a design flaw, you stupid bastards. And you should have your ass kicked for that. So, alright, so check this out. This morning I was listening to the radio, and on the local news, you know, they're all the way up Elon's rear end all the time. So the Elon's wanting to create this, what the hell is he calling it? It's going to use this boring technology, the boring company, and he wants to create some kind of fast network or some kind of crap. Underground, like a speed train, but under the ground. Some complete nonsense. And my first question is asking, what problem are you solving? Why do you want to have a 1 lane or 2 lane? It's going to be 1 or 2 lane at the most. The one that he currently has in Vegas is 1 lane, and you have to use the Tesla to be in it. So you have to be, you know, a Tesla fanboy. I'm going to go back here. Let me know if it buffers. So my point being is what problem are you solving by moving people around faster? Here's where I think the problem is. We're moving stupid people around way too fast and smart people not moving them fast enough to get things fixed. So we don't need to move stupid people around faster, okay? And the majority of the people that are going to be using that high-speed rail or whatever it might be, is they're going to be low IQ. They're going to be, I know I sound like an elitist right now, but I'm just stating the facts. They're going to be low IQ with critical thinking skills of a slug. Maybe a slug has got more critical thinking skills. I'm washing this line off. But yeah, why do they want this fast transportation? What problem are they solving? I don't see a problem right now. I think cars are going plenty fast. How is going faster going to solve any issue with our food supply, our school systems? Our public school systems are turning into prisons. I hear it daily on the news. They're talking about, oh, we added more cops, we added more fencing, we added more this and that. They're adding more and more stuff to make them more like prisons. So what problem are you solving again with your high-speed trains and fast transportation? You're not solving any problem. You're just making it worse because you're moving low IQ, low credit. You're moving people that don't know how to think around way too quick. We need to move the low IQ people slower or keep them stationary, and the people that can actually think for themselves, they can move around a little bit faster. So instead of this social credit score, we need to have a speed credit score where if you're low IQ, you can only go 2 miles an hour, and if you're high IQ, you can go 15 miles an hour. So again, I can fix these problems. Lower the speed limit to 15 miles an hour. And this thing right here, this solar cart that I made, runs 100% on solar when the sun's out, and it goes 20 miles an hour. So if you live 5 miles away from your work, you can get there really quick. If you live 15 miles from your work, you can get there in a little over an hour. And you put roundabouts on the roads, you wouldn't have all this traffic congestion. You wouldn't have to have car insurance the way you do. Because if you had a head-on collision going 15 miles an hour with another golf cart, solar powered, and it wouldn't be a golf cart, it'd be cars that were designed to go run on solar. It would just take this cart right here and re-engineer it to be lighter and more efficient. And it's very possible. And limit the speed limit to 15 miles an hour. People could get further faster. Trust me. Right now they're just spinning their wheels. And an electric vehicle, instead of it costing $170,000 or $70,000, right now to buy the Porsche Taycan, oh, you mean the one that's burning up all the time? Oh, they don't want to talk about that now on Lester Holt, do they? The Porsche Taycan's burning up. It's $100 and something thousand car. It's almost a $200,000 car. The damn thing's burning up, just like the new Corvette. Nobody wants to talk about that. The Chevy Vette, their electric Vette, burned up too. So all these electric vehicles are burning up. Why are they burning up? Because the battery technology sucks. The battery chemistry is very unstable. So Tesla is silently changing their chemistry to lithium iron phosphate. That's the one that's safe. And Chevy, Volkswagen, Porsche, none of these, they're not going with the safe battery chemistry. They're going with the stuff that's not safe. So if you're going to buy an electric vehicle, get the ones that have lithium iron phosphate. BYD is the best electric vehicle company out there right now with lithium iron phosphate. And Tesla, rumors are they're going to be going with lithium iron phosphate batteries in a lot of their new electric cars. But moving low IQ, dumb, useless eaters around very fast is not a solution to the problem that doesn't already exist. You see my point? So they want us to go fast. Why? Why do we need to be going so fast from Dallas to San Antonio? Where is that a thing? All right, so we got this all washed up. I'm going to wipe it off here. This is the fuel line that I'm going to do my best to order another one, so I can butcher maybe the new one up and I can put the old one back in. But yeah, or order two so I can start experimenting here, because I want to be able to create a plug and play fuel system here. We're going to have to go back around. So yeah, tell me, why do they need to move people around so fast? What's the point? You know, these people that they're wanting to move around real fast, they probably have metabolic issues. Their priorities are all screwed up. They probably have a house payment and a car payment. And they're probably going on vacation to compensate for their crappy life. So I have done my best my whole life to create an environment to where I don't feel like I need to go on a vacation. So my property, things I do, it's a vacation to me every day. And I know you probably find that hard to conceive because of the way I rant all the time, but generally for the most part I'm pretty happy. I'm kind of blown away lately with what's going on with the lack of critical thinking skills. So that's why you hear me ranting a lot. But the dumbed down public, and here's another thing that I've noticed. They don't call them citizens anymore. We're not called people. We're not called human beings. We're called consumers. So these, when you hear a news story on TV, they always refer to people like me as a consumer. If I'm not one of these so-called elites. So I'm a producer. I produce a lot. I do a lot of stuff for myself. I cut my own hair. I cut my own grass. When's the last time you've seen somebody that cuts their own hair? There's not too many people that cut their own hair. I've been cutting my hair for probably close to 20 years now. And I know it looks all napped up right now because I just got out of bed at I don't know when I get up, 9 something. I haven't touched myself. I haven't put on makeup. I'm not putting makeup on today. And I hadn't even brushed my hair or my teeth. I haven't brushed either one of my teeth all day. But like I said, I went to bed at 6 o'clock this morning. I wish I showered and brushed my teeth at 6 this morning. So if that makes any sense. So there's no reason for I need to brush both of my teeth. So they both look pretty clean in the mirror. All right, so this is what we're dealing with here. Look how rusty this is. This needed to be replaced anyway. Like I said, this rubber line in here, now that I've flexed it so much back and forth, it's probably going to send rubber debris down line into the injection system. And this is the part that's past the filter, so it'll go straight into the fuel system, and we don't want that now, do we? So again, we're consumers to the elites. That's what they call us now. They don't even call us human beings or persons or citizens. It's always consumer when I hear these stories. Consumer, consumer, consumer. Which for the most part is accurate. It's factually accurate. Most people don't produce their own food. I do a lot of production around here. I have my own water production. I produce my own power right now. Everything's running on the sun power, even though there's not much, but I've limited the stuff that's on in the house right now. So when it's a day like today, when it's cloudy, I work off my laptop for the most part because it pulls less power. I don't start up my big streaming workstation. I don't have anything on that's unnecessary to have run in the background. So you think we're going to be able to find this line? I doubt it, but you never know. But an ideal one would be is if they've moved this flex part a little bit further here, so when I get the new one I can cut it right here. Or maybe I can find, if I could just find these fittings with this flare with the O-ring, we're cooking with butter. So, all right, I'm going to put this in the back of the truck and I'll be right back. All right, so what do we got going on in the chat after my elitist sounding rant? I know I probably sound like one of those elitists talking about low IQ people, but I'm sick of the stupidity. People need to start thinking a little bit more critically about everything. All right, so I'm going to attempt to go into the house here. with hopefully no buffering. I'm connected to this access point right here on this pole. That's the one I'm connected to. Right up there, that one. So that's hardwired straight into my phone switch. I got phones on my mind. That door's probably locked. That's hardwired straight into my switch. So we should not buffer when we go in the house this time. But we'll find out now, won't we? So yeah, it's pretty dark in here because, like I said, on cloudy days, I limit, because I'm producing my own power. Like right now, this battery bank is at 12.7. It's a 12-volt system. So that's low. This should be 14.5 in charging state or 13.8 in float. So the refrigerator's on, pulling on my solar stuff right now, so that's why it's kind of lower than it should be. All right, so we're probably going to buffer right back here. I don't know why I went back here. I guess to take off my house shoes. So we're going to get back over here where we're in the no buffer zone. I'm going to turn on the light. I'm going to wash my hands. Bananas. Love the Blaze air fry. Yeah, it's a Suburban, so it's a little bit longer than what you saw on camera than it looks. It's a 91 Suburban. It's either the first or second year they did fuel injection. So what I'm doing is I'm instead of pulling that tank that's still got gas in it and heavy, and that'll create all kinds of other problems once you open that can of worms, trust me. I don't have the back to do that. All right, so people look at me like, oh, you can ride a bike 15 miles in 2 hours on a fast, like I did 3 days ago. Yeah, but I can't put my hands, I'm gonna show you how bad it is. What was I doing this morning? So I can't do this, okay? When I put my hands out in front of me like that, my back, especially if I have anything heavier than my hands like this, pop, my back starts tingling. Or from that car accident from 1992 or 3. So that's why I'm not gonna pull that tank, because it'll cause more back issues for me. Did I just see Tommy Temper in the chat? Big shout out to Tommy Temper. Looking good, no buffering. Sweet. Yeah, I was lurking see, like I said, I lurk people's channels and I never jump in their chat. I was lurking your channel the other day when you were at the beach, or the whatever it was, the lake. All right, so we're gonna go get that fuel line. I say we. I don't have a mouse in my pocket, and I don't think I'm taking you with, because I'm going to be making so many stops. It's just going to be crazy. But when I do stop the stream, I do promise that the first time I turn the key on the truck, you're going to see if it works or not. So I don't know if you saw. I made that last stream private, the one where I did the ride around town, for several reasons. So anyway, so if you're looking for that 15-mile ride I did the other day, I was told to make that private. All right. So I did this art project about a week ago now. The pots were hanging up here. So when I originally built this house, there was a wall here. So I cut this wall out. So this is how stupid the floor plan was, and how naive I was in not knowing about just simple feng shui of a house. So this is how my house is. This is how it was. So this is the door. You walk in right here, all right? And this would be the first thing you see. You walk up in here, you open the door, and there was a wall right here. Right here. This whole thing was a wall. And see, I cut it out. I didn't finish the trim out here. I cut it out probably 10 years ago. But I did finish this side recently. I put a mirror here. I know you can't see that. Let me see if you can see it. So I put a mirror and did finish some of the trim work, and I started my way across here and ran out of wood. I like to use old wood when I do stuff like this. But anyway, there was a wall right here. So, because there was a wall here, and this is the kitchen now. Now I'm in the kitchen. I put this thing up here to hang the pots. So you were never walking underneath them back in the day. All right, so when I cut this wall out, probably about 10 years ago, the pots were still hanging here. And if you reach up or something, you hit your head on them. I was always bumping them, and I bumped one time, and it fell off. My nice stainless one. It fell off and put a little dent on the side right here. And I don't care about the aesthetics, but I didn't want it, you know, to be messed up on the inside, and it did kind of mess up the inside a little bit. So anyway, I finally decided, all right, moving the pots, and I put them on this stuff that I made here. And I originally made this woodwork for solar stuff. I was going to put all my charge controllers here, but I'm going to keep them in the garage. And all I do is I have the charge controllers so I can see the voltage of the battery banks here. So I have the displays here and not the actual charge controller. So that was kind of regrouping on that. But this looks kind of cool at nighttime especially. And now I don't have my head's not hitting the pots from the pot holder. I'll probably make that into a pull-up bar, because I have a pull-up bar over there in the studio, but it'd be nice to have 2 pull-up bars in the house. So that's probably what I'm going to do, is rig that up to be a pull-up bar. What else did I do? Oh, I've been cooking off grid a lot. I made this. This is an old aquarium stand. So this can run off the generator power or grid power. And then this is an old butane Coleman that I've had for I don't know how long now. And when I got it, it was old, and everything still works. When it starts up, it's not very efficient, so the fuel, the flame, is yellow. It takes it a while to heat this rod and to start burning with the blue flame, but it still does the blue flame trick, and it burns very efficient. And all you do to start this thing, so you unscrew this, all right? I don't know if you can see this. You unscrew this, and then you hold your finger over this little hole, and then you pump it 35 times with your finger over that little hole. Because if you don't put your finger over it, the air is going to come out of that hole. So you pump it 35 times, and then you push that down, and you tighten that. And then you open this valve, and you light her up. And like I said, at first, it's not very efficient on the fuel burn. And then this is where you fill it. Of course, it's got pressure now, but this is where you put your butane in there. And I had 11 gallons of butane that I had bought and stored up over the years, and I left the cans outside, and all of them rusted except 4. So $100-something worth of butane down the drain. Back when I bought it, it was $6.50 a gallon. Now it's over $15 a gallon. But I do all my cooking right here now. If I do any steaks or beef, I don't know, is that thing in camera? I'm doing this backwards. Like I said, I'm using the front camera. And then I still got my air fryer here that I can run off generator power. So I don't cook on the grid at all. This thing can be unplugged. You know, I'm probably going to unplug it because all it's doing is wasting juice running that clock. But yeah, I can use it for storage. But I'm not using the oven. I don't bake. Anything you have to bake in an oven is probably not good for you anyway. What else have I done? Upgrades. The light projects, and I've done a lot of stuff with lights, like this thing. This is the old studio. And I got everything hooked back up in here, so I'm probably going to end up doing a stream in here one day. I need to buy a mixer. But yeah, here's the old studio. It's still alive. So technically, I have 3 systems I can stream from, not including my phone. I can stream from this laptop, which I've done before. I can stream from the new studio, and I could stream from the old studio. So, what else today? Oh, last night. So I couldn't sleep. So here's a fun story. So I hooked up more speakers. And I did a lot of tweaking, but we got a lot of speakers now, and I got these 15-inch subs hooked up. This sounds awesome. And I've basically just pieced a whole bunch of systems together, and I really don't want to go in detail with that, but oh my God, it sounds good. Oh, does it sound good. And I redid some wiring last night because it was favoring one of the channels, and now it's more of a balanced system with clean wiring. So yeah, that's something I couldn't sleep 4 or 5 o'clock this morning. That's what I was doing when I was lurking Cowboys Mosh's chat last night. I was actually active in his chat last night. So, what else have I been doing? All kinds of stuff. Found a new place for my bike. It sits upside down back in the bedroom. So now it's not in the way here. Oh, and I got my Atari system set up. So I can play Atari here now. I can play Atari in 2 spots. I'll turn that on for you right here towards the end of the stream. We're going to have a little bit of fun. So this runs on solar power. So you turn on this. Boom. This is an old Sony for movie production. Whenever they make movies and TV stuff, this is a monitor for television and broadcasting. It's the highest definition CRT ever made on Earth. It's technically, it's an HR Triton tube. It's the highest definition CRT made. It's even higher definition, I think, than that other one over there. So let's select arcade. We'll go down to Centipede, and we'll just start. Now, I'm playing with one hand here, so it's really kind of hard to play with one hand and hold the phone. So anyway, we just played some Centipede. Run on solar power, old school, no lag. And I turned it on that quick, and the game's ready to play. So I got an Atari system where I can play it right there. Runs on solar power. And I can just shut her off, just like that. And so when the grid goes down, we can still play Atari. And the coolest part about this other Atari system I set up the other day, I have 2 of them where I can play Atari. This one actually is ported into the streaming system. I have a capture card where I can restream, if I ever want to, me playing Atari on the stream. Another plan I have with the stream is to do You Don't Know Jack. I have a You Don't Know Jack CD that's really old. I also have You Don't Know Jack on Sony PlayStation 2. So I plan on doing some type of StreamYard trivia with You Don't Know Jack. And I got to figure out the technicals of that. But I'm going to be contacting StreamYard or any of these companies to see if they can add a feature that will accommodate for quiz games. To where you can have 6 people in a quiz game. And you can press a key on your keyboard that interacts with the StreamYard. I know I shouldn't have spilled the beans already, but I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to contact one of these companies, and that's going to give them a leg up on this restreaming stuff, because people will be able to have game panels. So it'll be simple. So I can do a quiz live, and it'll be a panel, and there'll be 4 questions or 3, and you just hit a certain key on your keyboard to answer the question of the quiz. Just like it used to be on You Don't Know Jack. If you're as old as I am, that's the way they used to do it. So I'm going to be contacting either StreamYard, Restream, or the other company and see if they're... I'm going to have to contact a smaller company, because these big companies are just going to stick their nose up at me and go, we don't need any gameplay in our StreamYards. We're serious snoots here. But I guarantee you, one of those 3 companies is going to pick up on my idea and go, wow, that's a cool idea. Let's just hope we can make it work. All right, so Stacy says, first quiz question, how many TVs are in Fry's house? Yeah, you know, okay, I don't watch TV. That's the funny part. I do monitor the news. I will turn it on the evening, or I'll have my Plex server recorded. But we can do a quick count on screens. But yeah, I monitor the news so you don't have to. So it helps me develop rants. Like most of the stuff that I wrote down on all these Post-it notes on the mirror, little magic mirror here, are from stuff that I heard on the national news or local news. And I've developed my show content around some of the rants that I've written here. So again, I've run out of mirror space, so now what I'm doing is I'm putting the notes into a digital form, and I'm telling my assistant what I think about. And that's the cool thing about these little devices here. I don't want to say the name because it'll trigger, but these things, you know what I'm talking about? All you have to do is say, Ziggy, make a note that I'm making a note.
Okay, I've saved your note.
So now all you do is you go into your app, and there's an app for those things. It starts with an A, you know what I'm talking about. And there'll be something under notes, and it looks just like Post-it notes. So that's where I've started my new note-taking, is it's because I have these things all around the house, and that's how I'm doing my note-taking. Oh, back to the screens. If we're just going to count screens or TVs, we'll do both. We're going to do both? All right. So let's have a guess. All right, before I start counting in the chat, how many screens? We're not doing TVs. We're just going to call a TV a screen and a screen a TV. So if it has a screen on it, that's going to count as a device. How many screens do I have under this rooftop? All right, that'll be the easiest thing to do because I have one on the back porch as well. So how many screens? All right, so Loud Red says 12. All right, so I'm going to let everybody guess before I start counting. So Loud Red says 12. And remember, there's one in the garage too. Actually, there's two in the garage. Okay, so 15. Everybody get their guess in before we start counting because I don't want any cheating going on. There's also one in the bathroom, if that helps you any. All right. So I'm counting computer monitors too, just in case y'all are wondering. All right, 27. Katie says 27. Katie's getting closer. Yeah, I have no idea, by the way. I have no idea how many. I'm going to count, and it's going to be... now, there's also one in the solar trailer. Do we count that one as well? No, we'll just talk about the house. All right, so here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're still in the living room. 6, 7. All right, and this one right here is for the camera system, but it's still a screen. So we're 7 in the living room. All right, and we walk over here to the kitchen, which is kind of part of the living room. There's 8. So there's 8 if you count the living room and the kitchen. Oh, but wait, there's 9 because that's where you can play Atari, and I can watch TV there as well. So we got 9 right here. All right, so let's go into the old studio. Oh, what do we have right here? We have 2 screens. So there's 9, 10, 11. So we're at 11 right here. Okay. So let's go over here to the old system. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, wait, there's one in the closet. There's 17. All right, so there's 17 in this area. All right. So we're going to go back here. Now, I'm really going to stay... I think I'm going to buffer, but we'll find out. So what we're at 17. There's one in the bathroom. If we buffer, there it is. There's the one in the bathroom. It's a TCL Roku TV. So we're at 18. And if we're not buffering, we'll take a peek in the bedroom. We're at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's my old original TV. Black and white, 22. We'll turn around here. 23, 24, 25. All right, so we're at 25. I feel like I'm missing one in here. We're 25, 25, 25. Okay, there's one in the garage. 25. All right, so here's the one in the garage. If we're not buffering, right there, 25. We might not count that one. Yeah, we got to count that one. We can't cheat. 25, 26, and we got one more left on the back porch, which would make 27. Up. There's technically 28 if you count the computer monitor. So yeah, we got 27. This is 27. And this is 28 if we're counting computer monitors like we are doing. Classic TVs, that's a little bit more technical. I'd have to go back and do the count. But there's 28 quote TVs or screens in the Fry compound. So Katie, you win. You said 27. Are we buffering? Let's see. All right. So yeah. So it was 28. I think Katie, you got the closest. Let me go back and look. All right. Big Dice said 30. So it's between Andy was 30 and Katie. Technically, Katie got closer. But if we count the screen, the TV screen in the solar trailer, which is really close to the house, there's a screen in there, a TV, actually an active TV I can use as a computer monitor as well. So that would make 29. So we're starting to get on the technical side, but I say 3 people won right now. But under the rooftop, there's 28. And I probably missed one somewhere. But I don't think I did. I might have missed one. I'd have to do a recount. But I don't know if I got all the ones in the bedroom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I missed this one. We might have to do a recount. Did I get this one? All right, so let's do a recount in the bedroom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 screens. Not including the laptop screen. That would be 8, but we're not counting the laptop screen. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, I don't know. I'm missing, it's just hard to keep. It's really hard to do. There's one in the bathroom too. Close enough. All right. I'll do an official count. I'll just have to do an official count when I'm not on stream, but it's hard to do it without laughing. Yeah, it is kind of ridiculous, but it's my work. It's my life. I'm an IT guy. A lot of these monitors that I've gotten and TVs were broken, and I fixed them. People left them on the side of the road. I fixed them. It's just something I like to do. I don't have time to do that anymore. But, yeah. So we can say for sure 28, but probably closer to 30 screens and TVs. All right. We got Cowboys Mosh. No lag? Cool. Big shout out to Cowboys Mosh. Yeah. Okay, Cowboys Mosh. Okay. I got to get on your ass for this. Stop having some of the best freaking panels ever to where I can't sleep. Okay? So, between you and Lincoln Kane, like Lincoln Kane had an epic panel the other night with, when it was Girls' Night Out or whatever he's calling it. And then the one you had last night where the Philippine dude and the Philippine chick were playing music and karaoke. It was awesome, man. So yeah, big shout out to Cowboys Mosh. Put your freaking link in the chat, Cowboys Mosh. Anybody that's got a channel they want to promote right now, throw it in the chat. And if you're not subscribed to Cowboys Mosh, if you're anything like me where you can't sleep sometimes, between him and Lincoln Kane are the go-tos for me. More Mosh than Lincoln because Lincoln's in Australia, so it's hard to catch his stream because he's in a completely different time zone, obviously. All right, so Cowboys Mosh put his link in the chat. So yeah, can you make it to where you shorten your streams so I can get a little bit more sleep? So everybody in the chat, tell Cowboys Mosh to limit his stream to 4 hours so I can get some rest at night. Or make them more crappy so I'm not so entertained by them. But yeah, last night was fun on Cowboy Smosh's channel, and it was an epic panel, and there was really, for the most part, no drama. All right, so somebody says the Dough Show rocks. So I guess we got some Dough Show people over here. Let's see. Fry Compound. It's kind of funny. The lens is right here where I have to scroll for the chat. They didn't think about that now, did they? Got the Dough Show in the chat. Okay. Why do you have green gloves hanging from the window? Oh, so let's answer that question. That is kind of a weird thing to have hanging, isn't it? Because I'm a pretty weird person. So let's figure out why I'm so weird. So I have this black light here, and I do this for my streams now. I just haven't been able to test it out much. I've only done it for one stream. So there's my black light, and at nighttime, this glove, it pops. See how the black light makes it glow? And it also makes this glow, and the Rubik's Cube, anything that's got fluorescent, it will glow. So when I turn off the black light, you'll see the difference. So at nighttime, it really pops. I'm going to get a bigger black light. But yeah, it's just to, it's because I can, because I would not have been able to do that if the missus was here. So this definitely says I'm single. So this is basically me saying I'm single and I'm going to be single. That's what that means, Dough Show. That's what that means. I'm single and I'm going to keep it that way. So I could not do this. This would not meet the acceptance factor of a female, for sure. Most of everything I've done to the house since she's gone is not passing the, it would be red tag, big time red tag. Especially these post-it notes on the mirror. Just pretty much everything I've done to the house would be a complete red tag. So basically this says I'm single. That's why I put that up there. And I'm going to keep it that way. All right. What else have I done? Oh, I need to go pick figs. So the figs are coming in. Oh, and here's the coolest thing. If you have a fig tree like this is something you've got to try. So you got to watch out there's no coral snakes in the grass, because those will kill you if they can bite you. So I was checking the mail earlier this morning, and look at what I saw. Can we get the lighting just right? Get on the other side of the sun. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that fig? Look at that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that little hot rod, and it should pop off fairly easy. That was a little harder than it should have been. This one should pop off a lot easier. Yep, that one just popped off just by touching it. So if you touch them, they're always going to have ants on them. So you got to blow the ants off. You don't want to eat it right now. What you want to do is you want to put this in the freezer and freeze it. And it is the best frozen treat you've ever had. Trust me on this. It just blows everything else away. It'll make you throw rocks. You'll be throwing your ice cream out. Seriously. You'll say, what ice cream? But the problem is you got to get the fresh ones. The ones at the store don't have the same effect. So we're going to wash these up real quick. And I'm sure there's more hiding from me, but they have to be good and ripe, or they're not going to be good. Well, there's two. I usually like to have 3 as a treat. So this tree here froze back from the big freeze we had, and I cut back some of the, you can see how it killed most of the tree, and it's coming back with smaller little shoots coming up. So it's not really producing like it used to. And then this is an oddball tree. This is called the Chinese strawberry tree, and it puts on these weird looking fruit like this. Can we get some better lighting on this camera? Oh, here we go. So that's the fruit. It's not red yet. They kind of turn red. It's called the Chinese strawberry tree. So I can't wait to eat those. I don't know if they're going to ripen up before our season's over with, because It's usually, we get a freeze before these things will ripen up. But, oh, look at this fig right here. Look at that nice one. Big, juicy. Oh, man. Here's another one. It's going to get away from me. I'm going to pick it a little bit early, because if you don't, the birds will do it for you. All right, I dropped one, and I see another one that's really high. Oh, there's another one up there. Look at that. There's one even higher than this. This one just pulled right off. I mean, it fell into my hand. That right there is fig gold right there. So we got plenty. There's a couple up there that I'm going to have to maybe even get a ladder. I hate for any of these to go to waste. The birds will grab them if you don't. Look at this grasshopper. Big one. You see any more? That's good for now. So yeah, this is a treat right here. It doesn't get any better than this. This one was a little bit early yet, but you know, if you're pulling off the stem, when you're pulling it off there, you picked it too soon. But 4 out of 5 is not bad. Oh, here's why the electric cars suck, okay? You see this battery? Look at this. Look how swollen it is. This was in my Motorola phone. Look how swollen that battery is. I just pulled it out 2 days ago. I'm going to puncture it. I might do a stream with that to see if I can get it to go down, but it's probably going to explode. But yeah, this is the same chemistry they put in the electric cars. Fucking bullshit. And people wonder why their electric cars are burning up all the time. Change the chemistry, assholes. If you go to lithium iron phosphate, anything besides what you're doing, you're not going to burn down your house with your damn electric car. I'm all for having an electric vehicle if it didn't burn down the damn house. But, yeah, that's why if you're going to buy anything that has a battery in it, today, listen to the words coming out of my mouth. Anything that has a battery, you know all these portable generators and all that they're selling right now, that's the big thing. Make sure it has lithium iron phosphate batteries. Don't buy the other chemistry. I can't remember what it's called, but it's not lithium iron phosphate. Because if you buy the other ones, the battery's not going to last as long. They're dangerous, and they're just not safe. So why would you want to spend your money on something that could potentially catch your house on fire? I know I don't want to. So lithium iron phosphate across the board, whether you're buying an electric vehicle or one of those solar generators. Lithium iron phosphate. And if it's not lithium iron phosphate, make sure it's better than lithium iron phosphate. And there is a new chemistry they're coming out with that is supposed to be even more energy dense than lithium iron phosphate and just as safe. So you need to kind of look into those. So I just rinse them off like this in one of these little deals like that. I rinse it off right there, whatever you call this, strainer, colander, strainer, 220, 221, whatever it takes. And then I take them like that, I dry them off a little bit. And then I do this number right here. Best treat ever. So this evening, if I decide to eat, see what I do is I take this, open up the deep freeze. I'm making Nancy Pelosi not proud anymore because I don't have ice cream in my deep freeze anymore. And I'll take and just put these in that bowl right there. And in about 4 hours, it's going to be happy time. Can you see what I'm talking about? You can't see a thing, can you? Let's fix that. So yesterday when I went to do that job on site, this is some of the tools I didn't take. Didn't take that stuff. I cleaned out my tool bag. Anyway, so yeah. That's what we're dealing with. And there's no more ice cream in here. It's just organic fruit and grass-fed beef and pecans that were picked from the property. No more ice cream, so everybody's checking on me. I'm not dipping into the ice cream. No hot chocolate in the pantry. Let's go check the pantry. Has Fry gone off of his clean eating? Oh, the pantry looks so lame. Echo, turn on I love you. Isn't that much better? So when you say I love you, then things look a lot better. Just remember that. All right, so here's what we're eating. We got some peanut butter and a little bit of honey. We're really not even supposed to be eating honey. It's, you know, it's basically bee vomit, but I limit my honey intake, and it is one of the world's cleanest honeys I could find. I eat off of this shelf, except for these sourdough crackers. I'm just gonna see how long they last before they finally just deteriorate. So I don't eat that. I don't eat any wheat or bread. I technically don't even eat this organic chicken. That was for Ginger, so I need to do something with that. But I still eat, for the most part, the tuna and the sardines. I don't even eat beans anymore because there's sugar in them. I don't eat the corn, so this whole shelf I don't eat. And I don't eat anything from here except the nutritional yeast. And here's my tea. So I've been making lots of tea lately. So here's how I make my tea, and this is how you should make your tea. Listen to me. It's the best way to do it. I've tried other ways, and it just doesn't taste as good. So you get you a coffee maker like this. All right. And you take and cut your tea bags with your scissors. And then you pour your tea. Instead of it being in the tea bag, you put it in where you'd put your coffee. See that? See how easy that is? And then what you do is once the tea grains are in here, you just start your coffee maker and it flows right through there, and then it sits in that hot water, and it'll sit there for 4 hours. And then it's concentrated, because I put extra bags in there, it's concentrated tea. So when you pour it over the ice, if you want it lighter, you can add a little water. If you want your tea darker, like I do sometimes, then you got to use some dark, rich tea. And the tea that I use 4 different flavors. I use pure mint. I use lemon ginger. I use this green tea organic. And then I usually put 2 bags of this black tea. So I put 2 bags of black, 1 of the peppermint, 1 of the lemon ginger, and 1 of the green tea. And I've had 5 bags. So I cut those bags open, and those aren't going to waste either. So the bags that I'm cutting open, I just started doing that, are going to go into this. This is going to be the fire starter for the wood stove. And I'm saving all the tea bags because I'm going to save that tea, all that stuff. These will be also burned in the wood stove, and the actual grains themselves I'm actually drying, and I'm going to experiment in making my own incense because it smells really good. So I got to figure out how I can like wad this up into a little round thing, and it rolls pretty good with your hand to where I can light it. I still got to experiment with that. I might just rig up some kind of bowl system where it burns from the bottom of a bowl. That would probably be the easier thing to do. But yeah, when you burn this stuff, it smells really awesome with all the different stuff in there. Trust me, it smells better than incense for the most part. And then when I burn stuff, I have it right here on top of the wood stove. I've already got kind of a thing set up here. I put a little bit of pecan in there on top of the wood stove. So this is my little incense stuff here. And I'll get my little happy lighter. I need to get a torch lighter so it's more efficient. But yeah, this is where if you want the house to smell good, to smudge out all the bad karma or whatever, you just start lighting pecans and with your tea leaf stuff, and then a little bit of rosemary from the garden, and then that will burn. It get a pretty big flame, and every now and then I'll throw some garlic on top, some older garlic, and that's my little incense area right there. So yeah, the house smells good. And see, this right here is a little bit of dead rosemary. We can add, the house will smell really good after this. So we got pecan, some tea leaves from the already brewed tea, so I'm not wasting it. So it's getting reused as many times as possible. And then this is a branch from the rosemary tree that died from the big freeze. So I got a lot of rosemary that I can pull from, dead rosemary that died on the property. So that's what I'm using right now. So there. Look at that. So yeah, if it's ever 420 time in the house and you don't want the house to smell like 420, you can do that little trick right there. Yeah. And who doesn't like 420 every now and then? Come on. Oh, that smells good. So I can't explain how good that smells. If there was smell-o-vision, you'd be like, what did you put in there? Well, like I said, it's a combination of, right now what I'm just smelling is the rosemary and the pecan. And that's it. And that two combination right there is amazing. So off the charts, the smell immediately. It almost smells like pecan pie with rosemary. Computer, play Poker Face from Plex. Some copyright-free music. All right. Why are we not hearing it? All right, so I think we've covered everything as far as the move, add, change that I've done and the inventory shift on the house. Oh, this is something else that I did. These are all the shirts, my CGI shirts that I wore during the convoy. And some of them were worn a little bit more than other ones, like this one. You can even see hot chocolate stains that didn't wash out on some of these, so they actually have the hot chocolate stains from me having too much hot chocolate. So this also says that I'm single. All right, so the Doe Show was asking why I was hanging this green glove from the curtains there. That's to show that I'm single. So that's, you know how like some people wear rings to show they're married, or they take it off if they, you know, or virtue signaling to say, hey, I'm available. Well, this just tells people that I'm single right here. That right there. When you walk into the house and you see that, he's single. He doesn't have a female. And then you turn around and you see this, you're like, oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I know it. Gotta have a little bit of fun, right? Yeah, after learning that one of my good friends died yesterday, I didn't know about it, didn't get to go to his funeral. It's kind of changed my whole attitude about life within the last day. So, you know, he woke up that day, this is my assumption, and he assumed that he was going to get to go to bed with his wife that night. That's just an assumption everybody makes. But he didn't. I didn't get to go to his funeral. I didn't know he was gone. You know, that like I said, I'm at that age now where I need to start reading the obits. That's what my dad said. So I'm going to be making that a thing I do every day. Which I don't want to start my day off doing that, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it my best. So look at this now. Now it's smoking. See that? And I smell pecan and rosemary. And it's just awesome. So yeah, I kind of rigged this little thing up here, but they need to sell something like that. Maybe they do. All right, so we're going to be probably easing out of the stream. I'm still fasting today. I don't normally eat until 4 or 5. I'm down to 148.2 pounds. So it's not like I'm wanting to lose weight. You know, I still got my muscle. I'm gaining more muscle every day. Still got my chest. I'm not looking like I'm anorexic without a shirt. So I'm still strong. I'm just losing fat. So people are concerned. I've been seeing people make comments, you know, you want to lose that much weight? I'm losing fat weight. I'm gaining muscle. So that's why I got to a certain point where I was losing weight really quick. All right, this is what happened about a month or two ago. I got to a point where I was losing a lot of weight really quick. And when you first start changing your lifestyle and eating clean, I'm not saying go on a diet, but when you start eating clean, your body will reward you. You will start losing fat. You'll start gaining muscle. You'll feel better. Your energy level goes up. All those things will just start happening. And then you'll reach a point, that's where I'm at right now, where your weight loss kind of just, it stops. Sometimes it goes up, and down. Right now mine was going up and then it went down because I was gaining muscle. And then now I kind of maxed out on my muscle. See, huh? Bragging rights a little bit, maybe? Come on, 51, give me something. I've kind of maxed out on my muscle right now because that gained me more weight. And then now I'm starting to lose more fat again. And I'm gaining a little bit of muscle now, not as much as before, and a little bit of fat. So when you gain muscle and you lose fat, your kind of weight stays about the same. But you see it visually in the mirror. At a certain point, you have to stop weighing yourself, and you're just going to be dealing with, 48.2, 48.5, 47. You're going to be in those ranges, and you have to just look in the mirror and look at your, do you see your six-pack yet? And that's my goal, is to see the six-pack, and it's getting close, but I'm probably 3 months away. I'm not doing anything extreme. I'm doing this slow. So I did quit 5 addictions all at once. That was extreme. The hot chocolate, the ice cream, the potato chips, all the junk. I quit the chips a while back, but all that crap, even mineral water. I don't drink it because it's too hard to find here locally now, and it's expensive, and it's just water with whatever, who knows what's in it. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to lose weight, don't approach it like you want to lose weight. That's a symptom of eating clean. So if you eat clean, you're going to lose weight. You're going to feel better. You're going to gain muscle. You're going to gain energy. So focus on eating clean. Whatever that means to you. What eating clean means to me is what you saw in my pantry and my deep freeze. This is my fridge. This is what my fridge looks like. All right, so if you don't have one of these on your fridge, you're already kind of behind, all right, on the whole truth-seeking thing. Now, I'm not saying Alex Jones I would say Alex Jones is a gatekeeper. He's controlled opposition. He'll get you to a certain point, and he only goes so far. He doesn't talk about NASA being a fraud and the moon landing hoax and all that stuff. But he's got a great bumper sticker that's called "The Media is the Virus." So if you don't have this on your fridge, you're not going to be able to lose weight. So you have to get one of these first. And it doesn't have to be from InfoWars, but I'm pretty sure he's the only one that's got this. So you're not going to be able to lose any weight or eat clean without this on your fridge. Once you get that on there, this is where it starts. So this is it. This is what's in my fridge. We got these good eggs. We got grass-fed butter. I don't drink beer. I bought that 6-pack, and yes, it's still unopened. I bought that 6-pack for the stream months and months ago. It's going to stay unopened. It's going to stay right there, just like that. So I got grass-fed butter, and I'm running low on cheese. And that's it, and some hamburger meat that I've cooked. This water is just tap water. It's there to keep the fridge more stable. I don't drink that. And I got more eggs, and I got what? More water down here to keep the fridge stable. And I got some pickles that are clean. I found some clean pickles. This is an impossibility for eating clean nowadays, is to find a pickle that's not poisonous with toxins. I mean, go read the ingredients on the pickles. So this pickle has cucumbers, water, salt, vinegar, natural flavors, and turmeric. So it does get a mark because it says natural flavors, but it's as close as I could get to finding pickles that did not have food coloring and sodium sorbate, benzate, and benzene, and acid, and gasoline, and all the other crap they put in pickles. But this is the cleanest pickles I could find. You have to buy these pickles in the cold section for the most part in your grocery store and just read the ingredients. Everything counts. Everything adds up. If I'm going to make tuna, I don't use the crappy mayonnaise. I'll use avocado oil, which, I don't use that much of this, but this stuff is $10 a jar. So it makes you not eat so much when things are expensive. But this is better for you than some crappy mayonnaise. All right, so, and for peanut butter, I use Smucker's organic only. It tastes better, it is cleaner, and that's the honey. So yeah, that's me eating clean. Your body will reward you. Listen to me. 6 months ago, I could not have done what I did 3 days ago. 3 days ago, I woke up and I said, I'm going for a 15-mile ride on a fast, dehydrated. I was dehydrated, I was fasting, and I did a 15-mile ride, and when I got back home, I wanted to go for another 15, if you watched the end of that stream. That stream is now private. I was told to make it private, and I was going to make it private 6 or 7 hours after, and I forgot. And I got a phone call that says, hey, you might want to make that stream private. I was like, thanks for reminding me. I did that this morning. So thanks for the reminder to make the stream private. So yeah, if you didn't watch that stream, then you don't know a lot about me. That's fine. You'll hear more about it. Certain things. I'll talk about my outbreaks and that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to talk about the family stuff anymore that's going on with my brother. So I'm not talking about my brother's issues anymore, but I had to get that off my chest. And yeah, so if he was listening, he knows that I got his number, and I'm watching you. So don't do anything stupid. All right, so William Roach says, I cut out sugar recently, but haven't cut out beer. Okay, well then you haven't cut out sugar. So when I talk about this stuff, I don't candy coat anything. I tell it like it is. So you're basically saying, I stopped stabbing myself 6 inches. I'm just stabbing myself 3 inches. So, you know, you're cheating yourself. You're basically trying to fool yourself. No, you are fooling yourself. You're not trying. You're not there. Okay. So, beer turns into sugar. Bread turns into sugar. The wrong kinds of sugar. Just make sure I'm still live here while I'm ranting. It says live. All right. Just want to make sure, because Prism came out with an update, so it seems to be more stable. Bread, sugar. Milk, sugar. Potatoes, sugar. Rice, sugar. All those things turn into sugar, but you got to see how your body reacts to them. But the best thing to do is cut it all out. Beer is one of the worst offenders. You got alcohol in there. You got stuff that attacks your liver. Beer attacks pretty much every organ in your body. And that's one of the reasons why, is because it spikes your insulin and it does all kinds of other crazy stuff. We're not supposed to be drinking beer all the time, even once a week. Even wine is not that good for you. And I know I'm preaching right now, but I'm doing this to help you, William. So you know that you're getting close. I mean, you cut out sugar, cut out the beer. So substitute something for beer. Maybe some 420, and don't do that all the time. Just do that every now and then. So I'm not saying 420 is bad. I'm just saying don't do it all the time. So don't get addicted to it is what I'm getting at. Use it as a treat, okay? So treat yourself with some 420 and not beer, and I think you'll be better off. Look at Willie Nelson. All right, he's kind of like a barometer for smoking the 420. I guess you can talk about that stuff on YouTube, but yeah. And I hate calling it weed because it's not a weed, but marijuana, whatever you want to call it. Oh, and the only water I drink is distilled water, and eventually I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to be making my own distilled water because I want to be a producer, not a consumer. So whenever I see these reports on the news, they always say consumers. I don't want to be part of that group. I produce my own power, my own water. I cut my own hair. I fix broken things that other consumers throw away. I fix broken stuff that consumers throw away so I can use them and not be a consumer. All right, so that's what I'm getting at here. So distilled water is clean water. It's not going to demineralize you. That's a bunch of nonsense. That's a bunch of nonsense. Distilled water is clean water. Drink clean water. I make my ice cubes with clean water. I disconnected the ice maker in the fridge because I didn't want to mess with it. I used to have a system set up where I could pour distilled water in there, and I had a little pump, and it was just much of a pain in the ass to do that. as it was to just pour it in the old school ice trays. And I got my old school ice trays and this other deep freeze back here. And sorry, Nancy Pelosi, no ice cream in here either, so I can't make you proud. But there's my old school ice trays. I have them sitting on a board so I can lift them out really quick. Just sitting on a piece of wood. And look at this thing, it's full of pecans from the property. And it's got some bacon in here, pecans, and that's about it. Full of pecans all the way to the top, and a little bit of bacon, and that's it. So yes, I got pecans, came from the property. And I would say 20% of them are already cracked in bags, and they're great. So, distilled water, eat clean. If you eat clean, you're going to lose weight. And I guarantee you, that's going to be the first thing you're going to notice. You're going to drop pounds quick. Because a lot of the weight you're losing is water weight, inflammation, gut weight, just, stuff that's backed up in your system. The more animal proteins and fats you eat, the better you're going to be. The fatter you eat, the skinnier you're going to be. And the more muscles you're going to have. The more of this, the fatter you eat. If you eat carbs all the time and eat crappy processed foods, you're going to be sick, you're going to be fat, your body's toxic, you're going to be fat. You're not fat because you're eating fat. You're fat because your body's toxic and it doesn't know what to do with the toxins. So what does your body do? It's a protection mechanism. So when you eat something toxic, your body goes, oh, I don't know what to do with that, but I can easily create this fat cell over here and store that piece of crap right here in that fat cell. And that's basically what it does. So you're just a big storage device for waste products. When you eat junk, your body's going to start storing it. When you eat clean, your body's going to start releasing it and you're going to be detoxing. So, oh, I don't need that fat cell. I can get that out. I'm done. Sweating is good. Last night, when I couldn't sleep, I was lurking Mosh's channel. I turned off the air conditioner in the kitchen in the living room, and I was sweating on the couch while I was in Mosh's chat room. Literally, my shirt was sweating. So I could detox. And I know it sounds extreme, but that's what I do. Everything counts. So you just got to figure, okay, if I'm not sweating, how can I make myself sweat? Because yesterday I didn't go for a ride, so I was sweating on the couch. I was sweating to the oldies like Richard Simmons used to do. But literally, stationary sweating means that you're detoxing. Fat people are so toxic. Yeah, the Doe Show, fat people are toxic. Yes. And again, I used to be a little overweight. I mean, I wasn't obese, but I was pretty toxic. And I can say that and here's the funny thing. I used to be the organic guy, the clean eating guy 15, 20 years ago, and I got off track. Because I'm thinking, all right, well, maybe that stuff is a bunch of crap. And I started eating the standard American foods, the garbage, the macaronis and cheese, the regular, potato chips and candy. And look at where I ended up with AFib. I ended up with pre-diabetes. I ended up with, I was weighing almost 200 pounds, low energy, anxiety attacks, big time anxiety attacks. If you're having anxiety attacks, you're toxic. Period. End of story. If you're having anxiety attacks, you are toxic. Clean up what you eat, your anxiety attacks will start going away. Eat more animal protein and fats. Fatty foods, seriously. Grass-fed cheese, grass-fed butter, not from the States. Grass-fed beef, steaks, sardines. Even tuna is better for you than all this other stuff. The cleaner you eat, the fatter you eat, the more energy you're going to have. Stay away from the carbs that spike your sugar, like potatoes. I'll still have potatoes and sweet potatoes, but I have enough animal proteins and fats that it's not overcount. It's not the majority of what I eat. Is what I'm saying. So, if you're having anxiety attacks, which I was, that goes away. And I was having a lot of outbreaks, okay, with genital herpes that I got from somebody that I loved in 1998 from one of my relationships. I've been dealing with that since 1998. And that's what pretty much put me on the journey to eating clean back then. And the cleaner you eat, the less you're going to have outbreaks. So I got off that track, okay? And the outbreaks come back. Now, stress will cause them to come out. Toxicity causes them. Certain foods can cause them to spike. So yeah, if you got any kind of genital herpes or cold sores or mouth sores, anything like that, the cleaner you eat, the less outbreaks you're going to have. Period. Low stress. I have to live a low stress life, even though it's been lately kind of stressful. Like I said on the stream the other day, all the stuff that's been going on, it's triggered an outbreak. And it was the weirdest outbreak I've ever had. It started on my feet and worked up my legs, but my immune system kicked in and it wasn't full blown. So that's when you know that you're kind of leveraged over that shit, is whenever your immune system can cut it off right there when you know that you're fixing to get one. So the pork rind diet, the dosho, the pork rind, pork lard diet. Yeah, here's the thing. Pork, period, you don't know where it's coming from, so you can, yeah, you're eating fat, you're eating animal proteins, but again, the way they raise the pork, if you can get it in a clean source, it's better. But yeah, eating pork rinds is better than eating potato chips. Big time. I owe my health to pork land, is what Dosho says. Margarine is trash. Yeah, margarine. Hey, Marjo, I eat vegetable butter. Ooh, Marjo, no, please. No. That stuff is toxic. Marjo, don't eat any vegetable oils, any oils at all. For the most part, all oils are dangerous. Trust me, they're all processed foods. Highly processed. This is the only butter that you should be eating from a company like this or cleaner. And I'm not joking, Marjo. Do not eat vegetable butter. That is dangerous stuff. Vegetable oils has caused more heart attacks and heart disease than anything on the earth, is the vegetable oils and the high fructose corn syrups and all that stuff. Pure Irish butter from grass-fed, right there, grass-fed cows. These cows are happy. They listen to Bill Hicks jokes all day. They listen to comedy. They're happy cows. This is the butter to buy. Do not buy vegetable butter. This. Marjo, please stop eating vegetable butter. You'll think your body will thank you. And if you're going to eat cheese, make sure the cheese is not yellow or orange cheese or the orange stuff. Make sure it doesn't have the food coloring in it, the powdered colored garbage. Get the cheese that's pure, the grass-fed stuff. Okay, so Dosha says, only if you are ketosis though, right? I'm not going into that. That's, most people's bodies cannot handle that type of shock. When you start going into ketosis, or if you go into a carnivore eating lifestyle where you're just eating something animal protein, that shocks too many people's system. I'm not going to start talking about that, because that's not something that's doable for most people. It's doable for me because I live by myself. But if I had kids or a female in the house and I'm just cooking, because I do all the cooking. Even when she was here, I did the cooking. I like to cook. That was something. I would cook, she would do the dishes. Perfect combination. It's not doable for most families to be doing just animal proteins. But the more I stay away from vegetables, this is going to sound wacky, and I'm Mr. Garden Guy, right? I'm the guy that, is picking fruits, or eat fruits in season if you can. And yeah, I still eat mangoes, pineapples, and blueberries. So I still have some addictions there that I'm dealing with. Am I going to stop eating mango and pineapple? Even though it's not like I'm eating a bunch, I'll eat maybe 5 little pieces a day of the mango and 5 little pieces of the pineapple and maybe 10 blueberries, okay? but I eventually want to get to where I don't eat those, but am I getting something from that? Yes, there's some vitamin C. I don't know if it's still active in the pineapples, really high in vitamin C. There's trace things in those fruits. There's fiber, all that stuff, whatever. But that's the one thing that's kind of my ritual is after I eat animal proteins, I'll eat my organic frozen fruits. So, but I'm not pushing some kind of fanatical hardcore carnivore lifestyle on anybody. If that's something you want to do and it works for you, run with it. But I still eat sweet potatoes and potatoes in the air fryer. I don't fry anything in oils. So I don't think that there's butters are in finished stores. Oh yeah, they are. They gotta be. You know, the next time you go live when you're in the grocery store, if you can, Marjo, if you can jump on Facebook and message me, let me know you're going live, and I'd love to walk through your grocery store with you and almost even do a restream of you going to the grocery store and looking for clean foods. All right, so the Dosho says, okay, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Golden Coins 100. What are your thoughts on eating fermented meats? Well, yeah, that's fine, as long as you know that that's a good, clean, fermented meat. So where did that meat come from? Any kind of meat is good. And here's the thing. The system is pushing consumers to eat bugs. Why is that? Because the more bugs you eat, how should I phrase this where it's not going to get me a strike? Okay, we were talking about critical thinking earlier. You're not going to be able to think as critically when you're eating bugs all day versus eating animal proteins. And I'm not this big hardcore, you know, I love animals, okay? It's not like, oh, I hate animals and let's all eat animals. That's not what it's about. But it's been proven that vegetarians that are hardcore vegetarians are getting sick. They're eating processed oils, especially these meatless burgers that they're selling right now, Beyond Meats and all these other processed fake meats. Stay away from that, run from it. It's got soy, processed vegetable oils, and all the, look at the ingredients on that. It's like a novel. Toxic food, your body doesn't know what to do with it, and it will make you sick. So it's been proven that a vegetarian that was having that lifestyle, when they changed to more animal proteins, all their metabolic issues they were having when they were vegetarians start going away. But everything in moderation. I'm not saying that if you eat vegetables, it's going to make you sick. I'm saying that the more you can add clean fats to your food, to your intake, the healthier you're going to be. I'm a proven fact that it's worked for me. And I was Mr. Vegetable Guy, okay? I was borderline vegan for a while. And then I started really feeling like crap. This was years ago. So I threw that in the trash. I said, this is not working for me. Maybe my body can't handle it. No, it's not just me. It's everybody. So a cow has 4 stomachs. So it can process the grass and get the nutrients out of it that it needs to and survive. We have 1 stomach. And we cannot get the nutrients we need out of just greens alone. We have to, for some reason, our DNA has been swapped, or how should I say, mixed matched to the point to where we have to eat animal proteins right now to be as healthy as we can be. It's working for me. It's working for a lot of other people. There's a lot of cardiologists that are waking up to the whole scam about the vegetable garbage and the vegetable oils is what I'm getting at. Eat fat, you live a skinny life and a healthy life. You eat skinny, you're going to lead a fat life. Okay, it's kind of inverted on itself. So if you eat lean, you're going to be fat for the most part. Not everybody. If you're a person that's not very toxic, you're not going to be that fat. But if you eat fatty foods, not processed, clean foods, the weight will drop off of you if you have a weight issue. Your blood sugar is going to be more stable. You're going to have higher energy levels like me. That's the biggest problem I see with eating clean, is I still haven't been able to manage my energy levels. They're just off the charts. I got to bed at 6 o'clock this morning after I got out of the shower. Got up at 9, hit the floor running, and I'm working on the Suburban today. And you know I don't want to work on that because it's messing with dirty ass gas lines. And that's the last thing you want to do, is have gas dripping in your eyes and dirt like I had this morning. But it's my energy level. I got to do something with it. So today would be a great day to be going on a bike ride, but I really want to get the Suburban running. So the next thing is I can get the 65 Chevy running. We can go take a cruise in that after we take a cruise in the Suburban and jam out. And then when I get the 65 running, which should just be a fuel pump and insurance, I need to put new tires on it, you know, give it a little bit of love here and there. But for the most part, if it had a fuel pump, we could be cruising down the road right now in the 65. So I got fuel pump issues on both of my favorite trucks. And then once we get those running, I'm going to get the 80 model back on the road again, the white truck. I got to put tires on it and wheels. But yeah, energy levels. That's the biggest problem. When you start eating clean, you're going to realize that, oh my God, I didn't know how bad I felt until I started feeling better. And once you start feeling better, you got to figure out how to manage your energy. Just make sure you do it to the right way. You know, just don't go running down the street and wasting it. Do something productive if you can, or go on a 15-mile bike ride with a ramp. All right, so I have a hard time pronouncing his name again. And they told me how to pronounce it last time. Parta Doza. He says, I'm addicted to carbs and salt foods. Exactly. So was I. But guess what? Here's how you fix that. You can still have your carbs, but make them cleaner carbs. Salt's good for you, by the way. So you say you're addicted to salty foods. Salt's good. But here's the salt you want. It's called real salt. Redmond's makes real salt. And I thought I kept the bag here just to show on the stream. And I probably don't have one. Look for something called Redmond's real salt. And I use a mixture, okay? I use Redmond's and I use Himalayan. I use both just in case. But I use this pink salt, which some people say is not the cleanest. And then I use the Redmond's, which supposedly comes from a very clean old ocean that's not polluted. So Redmond's salt's good. So here's what you need to do. This is where I was going with this. Get you an air fryer and make you some home fries in your air fryer. And I can tell you the best way to make home fries, I think I've done that on the stream. You cut your fries up the way you want them. Put them in a bowl. Listen to me, this is the most important thing. Put them in a bowl, a glass bowl, whatever you got. This is the bowl I use. It's a glass bowl. And I put salt and pepper in the bowl. Both kinds of salt, sea salt and pepper. And I mix them together. And you know you got a good mixture when the potatoes will start sweating and you got water building up on the bottom. That's when you know you're going to have some gold. And then you drop them in your air fryer for about 15 or 20 minutes. 10 minutes into it, shake it. You know, just shake it real quick. And 15 or 20 minutes later, you got some really badass home fries. And the potatoes that I found that make the best home fries are the white gold potatoes. Some people call them yellow or gold, but in our stores they call them gold potatoes. So you can still have your carbs, just limit it. And I still eat sweet potatoes and potatoes in the air fryer. And I'm still dropping fat, high energy. It's not spiking my sugar. So it's working for me. So yeah, Jared says we use Himalayan pink salt. Yeah, and if you can find the Redmond's, it's also supposed to be cleaner. Come fix my Tahoe, Fry. Yeah. Look, man, what's wrong with your Tahoe? Is it ignition or sensors or fuel? Because if it's electrical, I'm more likely to work on it. But I hate messing with fuel, just because you always get that surprise of getting that gas in your face when you're working under something. So Katie says, any thoughts on eating for your blood type? I've always been focused on keeping things simple. I don't know my blood type, all right? So there's a problem. So if you're in the wild and you're in survival, you're not going to be thinking about, what's my blood type? I need to be in this way. How do you get your blood type? Well, you can't do that in a survival situation. See, I didn't put my makeup on this morning. I didn't even brush my hair. I'm having a bad hair day. So, Katie, I don't know my blood type, so I don't have any thoughts on it because I don't have any way of testing it. The things I talk about are things that I have tested with my own self. I've gone through them with conviction. When I say things, you should see when I say things, I mean it because I've been there. This is how I've changed my problems. This is how I've fixed my issues. And trust me, I didn't get to where I'm at by being some kind of perfect person at all. All those mistakes I've made in life have led me to where I'm at to want to improve my life. And I'm 51 years old, and I spent 51 years poisoning my body with American fast food junk. You know, when I was on a wage slave, out on the road, eating at restaurants, eating garbage. So I was pretty toxic. I need to find some old pictures. I found some wedding pictures last night and some pictures when I was a lot younger. And I was pretty overweight back then. Not like obese, but I could have dropped easily 30 pounds and looked normal, if that means anything. So I gained weight in my face and around my belly when I gained weight. So that's weird. It was my face and my belly. But it was probably because of high blood sugar. So again, Katie asked, eating for your blood type. To me, that's keeping things that's too complicated. Like, okay, if you eat for your blood type, are you going to eat a certain type of beef? Or are you going to eat none at all? Which again, for me, for the most part, the more animal fats I eat, the fatter I eat, the thinner I am when it comes to fat on my body and the more muscle that I'm building. So, let's see, what is Jared Allen saying here? I will look for the brand salt. Yeah, it's called Redmond's Real Salt. And it's already ground up a little finer. And I've done a lot of research on salt years ago. And people are analyzing the salt and they're finding microplastics in a lot of these salts. So like the Himalayan salts, I'm pretty sure has microplastics in them. That's why I use more of the Redmond stuff. I need to get some more. I'm almost out of the Redmonds. And they didn't find microplastics in the Redmond salt. So plastics, especially with males, spike estrogen levels, give you man boobs. And when you get man boobs, you don't want things like this. So when you're turned into a female, if a male starts turning into a female, they're not attracted to anything opposite. So that's why a lot of these dudes, opposites attract. It's just like a magnet. All right, you put north and a south, boom, they stick together. Male, female, boom, they stick together. So if you got a male that's female tendencies because of the food that they're eating, like soy spikes estrogen in male. So when you're spiking your estrogen, it probably does something to your pheromones, your attraction. So dudes don't want this anymore. Dudes want other dudes. And look at what's happening right now. There's a lot of that going on where dudes want to be with dudes. And now they're saying that the monkeypox stuff is because of dudes wanting dudes. Well, where is that problem at? Is it because all these younger generation dudes are eating foods that are causing them to want dudes? Like the plastics, the soys, the crappy junk foods. Then you got the influence of the media and the school systems that are wanting the people. It's kind of trendy to be that way. So there's a lot of things that are pushing people that direction to be, transgender or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I want to be attracted to this, okay? not something else. So I want my testosterone high enough to where everything works right. So that, and the cleaner I eat, the more that part of everything is even more active. And it's always reminding you, hey, look at that female, look at that female. So yeah, I'm 51, and the things that were kind of dying off because you kind of lose your libido. We're talking about that right now because my body was toxic. All right, so the more you eat clean, the more that part of your spirit, your body, your hormones, whatever you call it, is functioning correctly, and your body says, okay, that's the way that needs to be, and things work better in that department. We'll just leave it at that. But yeah, but again, a lot of this is what I'm doing is a lot of this is not really for weight loss. It's to not be reminded of having genital herpes every 5 minutes. So when you eat clean, you don't get outbreaks, but you also have to lower your stress level. When I was an 8 to 5 wage slave, I was having them all the time. I was eating crappy. I was stressed out. I had 30 employees underneath me that I had to keep up with. I had to hire and fire, project manager, all these different job sites, running service, had a family I had to take care of when I came home to, that kind of stuff, a house to take care of, stress on every level, outbreaks, toxic life, toxic food, your body's going to react. So in a way, having genital herpes is almost a gift in a way, because it's also given me a barometer in a sense to where, am I healthy? Because if I feel one coming on and my body says, nope, you're not going to be full-fledged outbreak, that means I've leveraged that and my body's immune system is working correctly. Same way with all this other crap that's going on with the pandemic stuff. Your best jab is your immune system. So if you want to get the best jab in the world, instead of doing the Fauci juice, work on eating clean. That's the best jab, because your immune system's going to function correctly. So first thing, easiest thing to do is not add things. It's not, I can tell you more what not to do than what to do, okay? Don't eat the three devils, the white devils. So sugar, wheat, milk, those are the easy ones. Completely get those three out. Those three, sugar in any form. Ketchup, it's got sugar. Peanut butter, sugar in it, throw it out. Bacon, it's got sugar in it, throw it out. I got bacon in that deep freeze that I won't eat, but I'll use to season the skillets. So I'll fry the bacon up to get the grease layer and season it, but I will pour out the grease, and I will not eat the grease, and I won't eat the bacon because it has sugar in it. So all those things start adding up. So I'm telling you, I'm the best filter or testing device for eating either clean foods or not clean foods because of my health challenges that I currently have and have had. And the ones that I'm saying I currently have are the genital herpes, which that's a gift that keeps giving. And that's not something that I asked for, went to the store to buy. I didn't have a choice with that one technically. Back in the day when I got it from the person that I married, the information out back then was if you were not active with an outbreak, you couldn't spread it. Well, I found out early into the relationship, yeah, it spreads pretty quick. And when are you the most active? Skin on skin is early on in a relationship. Isn't that funny how that works? So, yeah, so all the BS about genital herpes back in the day was BS. You could be shedding and not know it and spread it. So what I'm getting at is one night stands. You might want to watch that if you're younger and you're watching this. So yeah, but like I said, my body will tell me if I'm eating garbage or not quicker than most people's just because of the genital herpes crap. Because if I eat crappy or start stressing, boom, you can feel it coming on. And just look up the symptoms. I don't want to get too graphical or detailed, but you know when you're starting to have one, here I'll just say part of the symptom. At the very beginning of an outbreak, it's very aggravating. Take some really fine sandpaper. This is what it feels like, okay? Take some fine sandpaper and then rub it on the back of your leg. Make your leg really raw with the sandpaper. All right, rub the back of your leg with some sandpaper, get it really raw, and then take some alcohol and then put that on a paper towel and put the alcohol, like 91%, the good stuff, and just pat the back of where you just rubbed the back of your leg with that sandpaper. And that's kind of the sensation you'll start feeling for 1 or 2 days. And sometimes it's a deeper pain, and sometimes you get gland swelling. And then if it is a full-blown outbreak, then you get the sores and all the fun stuff that really reminds you that you're screwed. So yeah, my body, again, will tell me if the food is clean or not. So I'm kind of like the UL of the food, UL list, you know, Underwriters Laboratory for electronics and stuff. Let me eat that food for a while, and I'll tell you if it's clean or not. And it will show up real quick if it's not. So, like I said, Redmond salt, grass-fed butters, Marjo, no vegetable oils, period. 0 vegetable oils. Do you see any vegetable oils in my pantry? Negative, Ghost Rider. Oh, wait a minute. But I didn't buy this. And I'll use this for starting a fire or something. But it's sunflower oil. Toxic. Toxic. Run from all vegetable oils. Vegetable oil sounds so innocent and clean, doesn't it? Oh, it comes from vegetables. No. It's garbage. It's toxic. It's the worst thing for your heart and your arteries. Don't touch vegetable oil. Even olive oil is dangerous in a lot of cases because it's been cut. They're cutting it with bad oils. It gets rancid. There's no real net gain of eating a rancid oil. It's always going to be on the negative side. Rancid oils are not nutritional supplements. So it's better to not even go there and eat the crap because you don't know. Now, if you're doing it yourself, that's fine. But again, it's not a natural thing to do. In nature, you don't see buckets of olive oil under trees. That's something that man is doing. Okay, so man has a big problem, thinks that they can change something and improve upon it. That's not true. Most of the time, leave it the way nature meant it to be, and if you want to eat that olive, just eat the olive. Don't squeeze the oil out and put it in this mono form where it's concentrated. That's why you should never drink juices. Juices are toxic. Orange juice. I talked to somebody yesterday on the job site that I was working at. On site, and I said, didn't you have some metabolic issues recently? And he goes, oh, what do you mean, prostate cancer? I said, well, I don't know what it was, but somebody said you had some cancer. So he told me the story. I said, do you have any sugar intake? He goes, oh, I drink orange juice all the time. So that's just one thing. I said, stop the liquid sugar. There's no benefit to drinking orange juice. Any juices, they're all toxic. And remember, cancer is a fungus, okay? So think about this logically. All cancer is fungus-based. Its origin is fungus. What does fungus thrive in? It's a sugar. Fungus eats sugar. Sugar feeds fungus. Sugar feeds fungus. Guess how they find cancer cells in your body or tumors? How do they find tumors in your body? What they do is they take sugar dye. They have this color that's not very toxic, right? They put this dye in your bloodstream with sugar in it somehow, some kind of way they do it like this. And they look for where the sugar ends up, the dye. And why is this? A natural cell has 5 receptors for the most part for sugar. A natural cell has 5 sugar receptors. A cancer cell has like 92 receptors for sugar. So it's sugar hungry, all right? So just imagine 92 fingers here. I'm a cancer cell, all right? I'm looking for sugar. This is a natural healthy cell. It's only got 5 receptors for sugar. So if you're craving sugar, you're feeding cancer as well. So we all have that in our bodies that our body's fighting all the time. So you can leverage your body, lower your sugar intake, and that's beer, wheat, bread, all the pastas, all that stuff. Because see, the thing is we used to be able to eat bread. We used to be able to drink milk. We used to be able to eat things like that in moderation. But now That's our main source of intake of food for most people is breads, pastas, milk, sugar. Everything has sugar, 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 carbs, carbs, carbs. We've thrown our balance off so much that we have to be extreme when it comes to not eating these things, is my point. So you have to be hardcore and clean up your system like I did. Quit all that stuff all at once, if you can, and then introduce a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I introduced, okay, I'll have a little bit of honey with my peanut butter. Just a little bit, not too much for the ratio. I'm not going to go back to eating pasta. I'm not going to go back to eating bread. I'm not going back to the potato chips. And it's not because the salt's bad for you. It's because the oils in the chips are the killer. That's what's bad for your heart. Okay? Now I might want to put the charger on this thing. Well, I got some juice available. So while I'm on my little rant here about food. But yes, the cleaner you eat, I'm going to get back to the chat here in a second, the better you're going to be. Cut out the sugars. Sodas are, yeah, Jared Allen, sodas. If you're drinking soda, that's the easiest thing to stop. You'll see instant results. Milk, sodas, all that stuff. Oils block, Steve says, oils block and entry. I can't see that word that you're saying there. All right, so Loud Red says maybe fresh squeezed orange juice. No. That's just as bad. You're taking a food and you're processing that food in a way to where it wasn't meant to be eaten. When you squeeze all the juice out of that orange and you take all the fiber and pulp away that would have modulated, remember, when you're squeezing that orange juice, you're concentrating your sugar. You've taken out the fiber that would have modulated your blood sugar from spiking so much. Normally you would have just maybe been able to eat a whole orange or a half an orange. But no, you're squeezing 4, 5, 6 oranges just to get to the sugar. And then it's going to spike your sugar. So no, fresh orange juice will be less toxic, but it's still going to spike your sugar the same way. All right, Jared Allen says, how about recommendations for Bree for liquids to drink? She's 5, is that what that says? 5. Okay, here's the thing. With kids, it's hard. Like I said earlier, this is hard to do when you have kids. As crazy as this sounds, there's really no good recommendation. You don't want to get her started off on the wrong track with us. You definitely don't want her to have sodas. Juices are not good. It's just sugar. She'll be pre-diabetic. Look at all the kids with cancer and diabetes now. Okay? Just obese. It's because the juices. They're drinking all these juices and they're puncturing a plastic straw and a plastic membrane and drinking sugar water out of it. So it's sugar encapsulated with plastic. That is not a natural way to be hydrating yourself. And the main reason why you drink, there's 2 reasons why people drink. They're either bored or they're thirsty or dehydrated. So if you can start just anything that doesn't have sugar in it, okay? So like a green tea, a black tea, but not a lot, not really high concentrated. If you can get her palate shifted, if she's addicted to sugar, I have no idea why you're asking that. She could be addicted to sugar because she's around it. I don't know if she goes to public schools or what, but in public schools, they're forcing milk and sodas down these kids' throats. It's horrible. Milk turns into sugar, okay? And it's not clean milk either. A2 milk, if you're going to insist on drinking milk, look for A2 milk. My dad has done a ton of research on A2 milk. He's like the A2 milk guru. He talks about it all the time when we talk on the phone. or goat's milk. But we're not supposed to be drinking out of a cow's udder. Think about how unnatural this is. Go out into a pasture, find a cow that just had a calf, because that's when they're producing the right milk, and then just go start sucking on the cow udder. Well, we don't want to do that because that's kind of weird, right? So we'll just use our hands, all right? So that's not as weird. We're just going to use our hands. We're going to get the milk out that way, because literally sucking on the udder would be just too obvious how stupid and not natural that is. So we're just going to remove ourselves a little bit, and we're just going to put this in a bucket. And then, well, that's just a little bit too weird too. So now we're just going to hook these devices up to it, and they're going to suck it out for us. But now we're putting these cows under way too much stress, because they're building up bacteria, and it's sucking on the udders too hard, and it's stressing the cows. So now we're going to have to feed the cows antibiotics to counteract all the pus that's coming from the milk, because of all the infections that the cows are getting. So now we're sucking out pus milk, all right? So now what do we have to do with that milk? Because it's pretty pussy and toxic. We need to pasteurize it. So we have to heat it up to kill anything that would have been good in there. It's dead now. So now you have pus-filled toxic milk that's been pasteurized and homogenized. They blend it up really fast, so the fats and everything kind of turn into this one cream, and it doesn't separate. It's just this one viscosity. That's why they homogenize milk, basically. And now you've got liquid white poison. So when you drink that, you're drinking the dead cow pus that's been pasteurized out. So you got your little cow pus, some antibiotics, and a little bit of sugar, and maybe if you're lucky you get a little bit of milk fat. So there's your nutrition if you're on a good day. So that's basically what we're doing when it comes to cow's milk. And that's what they make kids drink. Milk, it does your body good, right? No, it doesn't. That was a campaign that was pushed years ago, and I'm not anti milk farmer or whatever, but I'm pro freedom and health, whatever that is. So that's what I'm getting at. So whatever you can get Brie to drink that doesn't have sugar in it or artificial flavors, and if you insist on having her drink any juices, I'll show you what it is. But and anytime I show somebody this, they'll go and buy it. Go, oh, Fry recommended this. And it's still something I'm not going to do. Okay, but if you insist on having liquid sugar and giving it to somebody, I'll show you what I would recommend. So give me a second. I'm going to walk over here and get it. The phone is charging. And notice that I don't drink this stuff anymore. But if you insist on juices, it's going to be hard to find, but this is what I would do. So if you really think you need grape juice, which is basically sugar, you want diabetes, start drinking this crap every day. All right, but let's say you want to make Brie a soda at home. This is what I would do. Get some Concord, just Concord grape juice in the glass bottle. There's no sugar added. And get some mineral water and put a little bit of this in the mineral water. Not much, just enough to add a little flavor and a little color with some ice, and that's a nice little treat for her. But do not let her drink sodas and milk and all that stuff. It is literally, I mean, this right here, this will make you a pre-diabetic or diabetic instantly when you start drinking this stuff, because you're not supposed to be eating grapes in this processed form. This is not natural. And you think, oh, it's just grape juice. Grapes are good for you, right? Even when you just eat grapes by themselves, they spike your blood sugar. We're not supposed to just be shoving grapes in our mouth all the time. It's not a natural way of foraging for food. It's convenience. Our convenience with our food supply has done two things. It's been more toxic and too much of it. So we have too much availability of toxic foods. And we have too much availability for sugar foods. And it's all just look at exactly where the United States is. Just the United States. Would you say in the United States that everybody's healthy? Name me one person that you know that doesn't have a metabolic issue of some sort, whether it's obesity, diabetes, diabetes, pre-diabetic, cancer, fibromyalgia, which is basically my body's toxic algia. That's all that means. If you know anybody that has fibromyalgia, there's a few things going on there, but mainly it's a toxic body, and it generally pops up in people that don't eat enough fatty animal protein, the clean stuff. So yeah, for Bree, really try to get her no corn syrup, obviously. Even the natural sugars, don't fall for any of that. No stevia, no fake sugars, none of that stuff. It's all toxic. It's all bad for you. So the more you get her to not eat and drink things with lots of sugar, the more her palate's going to be tuned to natural sugars, and she's not going to be craving that. So if you're craving carbs, that means your palate's tuned to that and you're eating too many carbs. The more animal fats and fatty foods you eat, because somebody in the chat earlier, the guy, the streamer guy, really cool guy that I can't pronounce his stream name, starts with a P, he said he craves salty carbs. I do too. That's why I make the cravings are not like they used to be at all, because my body's more balanced. But I used to crave potato chips. I could almost eat the whole bag, at least the half of the bag. And that's salty carbs, because you get that dopamine hit from the sugar and the salt. It's just like a cocaine addict. You know, milk is the same way. Ice cream's the same way. You still get that same hit. Ice cream is almost as addictive as cocaine. So it's all the same. It's sugar. It's dopamine hits. Nightbot, you're really stressing me out here. You're messing up my chat. All right, so let me go back. And what am I missing here? So Jared, I hope that helps you. I can tell you more not what to recommend to her than what to recommend, but I can say you don't want her drinking anything that's got sugar in it, concentrated. Doesn't need to have... I would push her more towards a mineral water, and you don't want it to be doing like lemon juice or anything like that, because it'll eat away at her teeth. Maybe just some green tea and some mineral water as a treat or something, because I don't know. I have to recommend what I think's best, but whatever she wants and whatever you're going to do are two different things. But you're the one that goes to the grocery store, your wife does. So if you don't bring the poisons into your house, it's almost an impossibility for anybody to consume them if they're not there, right? So you have to go outside the house to get to the sugar, the sodas, and all that stuff. All right, so partizo, partizo. Can somebody put the, how to say that again? I wish I could have somebody in my ear say, this is how you say his name. All right, I agree, sugar is more addictive than anything, heroin or cocaine. Yeah, and I was a party animal back in the day. I was a wild horse. I was a normal dude that experimented with life. I did the drugs. I didn't put a needle in my arm. So across the board, to make you, if you got a question, well, what kind of drugs did you do, Fry? I did everything except put a needle in my arm. Okay? And here's why it happened to me. This town I live in is in between where they were trafficking it and Austin. So we were a traffic town. The stuff would come through here, and I didn't have to pay for anything for the most part. You knew somebody that knew somebody, you got it. Whether it was crack, heroin, crank, acid, back in the day, that's what it was. And then you had your marijuana. But it didn't put a needle in my arm. I don't like needles, and that's not why I'm taking the juice, the clot shot crap. I don't like needles. I don't. You can't poison your way back to health. All right, that's the easy way to explain it. So, poisoning your way back to health is not a thing. It's an impossibility. And chemo basically works on that principle. When you're done with chemo, are you healthier? No, but you survived that traumatic event. And your body's dealing with the trauma that the chemo inflicted upon your body. You survived it. You're not thriving. Okay, there's a big difference between survival, which that's pretty much where everybody's at. Everybody economically right now, for the most part, is in survival mode. Most people aren't thriving, especially with the economy, with the supply chain shortages, and whatever you want to call this, hyperinflation or velocity of currency is backwards. Too much money chasing little goods, whatever you want to call it. People are in survival mode. And most of everybody's bodies are in survival mode too. So if you go get chemo, your body has it's survived a traumatic event and it's in survival mode. It's not in thriving mode. And that's why I say you cannot poison your way back to health, because chemo is a poisoning your way back to health philosophy. Does it work for some people? Yes. But you're not going to be thriving when you come out the other end of that. So breast cancer, maybe 5 years to live. All right, so here's the thing. I need to get something to drink. I don't really want to go down that road, but I don't put anything on my body that I wouldn't eat. All right, and this is no joke. Like Biden would say, no joke. If I want oil on my skin, I use the coconut oil that I would eat. And I don't put it in my food. But I have coconut oil that if my skin feels like I want some coconut oil, or I feel a little bit dry or something, especially in the wintertime, I don't use it much at all, just rarely. I'll use coconut oil and vanilla extract without sugar. And I mix those two together just a little bit in my hand, and I just rub it down, and it just kind of makes you feel better. Your face looks a little bit darker. It's kind of a neat little trick. That's the only thing I'll put on my body ever. When I shower, I use Dr. Bronner's tea tree soap. That's it. I use it in my hair, everywhere. When I brush my teeth, I use only the Hello toothpaste, which is the charcoal-based toothpaste. Whatever charcoal-based toothpaste without fluoride in it, that's what I use. So I don't put anything on my skin I wouldn't eat, and I don't eat anything that I wouldn't put on my skin. Both ways, okay? So I'll eat a pineapple. Would I put that on my skin? Yeah. All right. I'll have some vanilla extract. Would I eat that? Would I put it on my skin? Yes. All right, now where am I going with this? Sunscreen. You said breast cancer. Armpit deodorant, antiperspirants. Okay, an antiperspirant stops you from sweating. Sweating, your skin is like a third kidney. It's a detoxing mechanism as well. It cools you and you're detoxing at the same time. It's kind of two things at once. You want to sweat. You don't want to stop that. So sunscreen, especially the bad ones, can cause skin cancer. Okay? Because you're putting those toxic oils on your body. It's soaking into your bloodstream. On the surface of your skin, it's reacting weird to the sun. There's so many things. It's DNA damage on the surface of your skin. Sunscreens, to me, are everything that's evil when it comes to people that are suffering from skin cancer. And breast cancer is along the same lines of high sugar diet, the absurdity that's pushed on women to have to put all this crap on their face. If I was in control of things in the world, there would be no makeup. That's why I joke about it so much. I didn't put my makeup on today. There would be no makeup, no deodorants, none of that stuff. No lipstick, none of that stuff. Because all it is, it's a female tax. It's just another tax on a female to keep them down, the way I look at it. It's like keep them down, keep them busy putting on makeup, and we're going to come over here, and the men, we're going to control things while the women are too busy putting on makeup. Okay? Women don't need makeup. All right? It's toxic. It's expensive. It's time consuming. It's a pain in the ass to put on. It's a pain in the ass to take off. Trust me. I see it all the time. So my perfect relationship would be a female that didn't want to wear makeup, whether they thought they needed it or not, okay? So I'm always looking for, oh, you know, if I'm ever looking for a female, someone that doesn't wear makeup. That's just my preference because it takes your money, your time, it makes you toxic, and all these other things. And they look different when they wear it and when they don't. So if everybody didn't wear makeup, everybody would look the same whether they woke up or not with it on. So wouldn't have to play this whole game. And Hollywood and all this crap couldn't exist like it does without all this makeup. Plastic surgery. The news went off the other day. I was watching, I monitor Lester Holt and those things just to see where their narrative is going. And this show came on, and it's the guy that's really popular. Is it America's Got Talent? What's the guy's name? He's had all this plastic surgery done. You can see under his eyes, he's got these stitches. And then the female, she's had her neck pulled, and you can see the big mark of surgery she had here so they could take her skin. I guess they cut it out and sew it back together. And everybody looks fake now. People don't look natural. So don't put deodorant on. I don't wear any deodorant, and I don't smell. The cleaner you eat, the better you smell. I don't wear any deodorant anywhere. Don't need it. My feet don't smell. My arms don't smell. I don't smell. Okay? The cleaner you eat, the cleaner you're going to smell. And no smell is a clean smell. So you'll discover that. And if you also have an issue where you have to use armpit deodorant and you're a female, I see that they put on these antiperspirants that could be causing issues with breast cancer. I can't prove or disprove that, but there seems to be a connection there with female products, antiperspirants, deodorants causing cancers and breast cancer. If you don't want your armpits to smell, number one, when you're showering, here's a little trick. All right, I'll be right back. So what you're smelling most of the time under your armpit is bacteria, okay? So it's the bacteria poop in a sense. So if you don't want to smell that, and that's offensive to you or your mate, get you some Hello toothpaste and dedicate one just for your shower. And I don't have to do this anymore. I did it at first years ago to kill off the bacteria. And use this Hello bacteria and put it on your arms and focus on washing your armpits more than anything else. And then get all that slime and bacteria off of there. And once you kill the colony, it's hard for them to replenish themselves. So then you don't have the armpit smell like you used to. So just the Hello toothpaste is a neat little trick. And then make sure, rinse your arm off and clean all of it, all the way up and down. Don't just, oh, look at my shirt. See, I wear stuff till they got holes in it. Because that bacteria can be from here all the way down there, and clean it really good. And I know this sounds crazy, I'm talking about this on a stream, but this can improve your health, okay? Because you're not putting armpit deodorant under your arm as soon as you get out of the shower. So clean that crap out really good to where there's no slime. You can feel it. You can feel it where the sweat's gone and everything. And as soon as you get out of the shower, dry your armpits. If you have a hair dryer, dry your armpits with a hair dryer, and it kills off more of the bacteria. And then put a shirt on immediately, because you don't want to come out of the shower and then start sweating, and then that stuff start growing back instantly. So once you start killing the colony, and a biggest way to get a head start is this charcoal toothpaste. Just dedicate one for your shower. Get a couple of tubes. I buy this stuff by the 4-pack, and I use it just to brush my teeth, and I use it for washing my hands sometimes. It's a good cleaner. So that's a way to not have to wear armpit deodorant, and it will get rid of a lot of toxicity issues in your body. You want your armpits to sweat. You want to sweat. Sweating detoxes. So, and I guess I got off on that tangent because of the breast cancer comment. So yes, perfumes. Like I said, I'm not making this up. This is the only thing I put on my body. If I think I'm going out or going to be around a female that I'm kind of, I got my coconut oil right here, and what? You think I'm joking? Vanilla extract. So the coconut oil, I mix that with vanilla extract. It doesn't take much. And you just rub that on your face, your arms. Your body kind of starts glowing afterwards. And sometimes I do that before a stream. You know, it just makes you look healthier. The vanilla extract smells good. So it's as natural of a perfume that I could find without, you know, a cologne type thing, to where it does smell good, it smells natural, and it's not like you're running around smelling like a vanilla thing. It's very, very faint. It's kind of like patchouli, but in a different way. I just can't get patchouli around here, or I would use patchouli, but I guess I need to find a source for that. But they don't sell that at the grocery store, so I'd have to go out and source it or find it online. So that's why I use the vanilla extract that doesn't have sugar, corn syrup. You can't get the junk stuff. You got to get the more expensive stuff. And I don't use armpit deodorant. And I mean, I'm not running around, people aren't running off. Yeah, there's nobody in the house to let you know that I'm telling the truth, but trust me, I've never had that issue because I'm eating clean and I focus on my armpits when I shower a lot, so I don't come out of the shower with bacteria already under my arms. People forget about that, but that's basically where most of the smell comes from. It's the bacteria, poop, and that kind of stuff is what you're smelling on other people. All right. Martha says, I see your face now. I guess I was off the camera a little bit. So yeah, this is me with 3 hours of sleep. I got to bed at 6 o'clock, showered before I went to bed, and I haven't put on my makeup or done my hair. So this is what you get right here. Now what would you give? 20 bucks? All right. Let's see. Hey, Thai guys in the chat. Vanilla ice over here. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Vanilla extract. Yeah. But yeah, if I feel like I want to put something on, I'll do that. But it does, you know, I just don't like things on my skin, so I rarely ever do that anyway. All right, so what did Steve say? All right. Sorry, Rob. Let's see. Steve, remember the baby powder? Oh, yeah. Here we go. Another crime against women, or a female tax, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of that with this crap. The baby powder that had, what, asbestos in it, I think? And it was causing all kinds of issues for females. People put that on their babies and all that stuff, too. So, because there was females putting it on their parts and stuff, and it was causing all kinds of issues. Yeah, if asbestos in the powder. You know, that's not a natural thing. You don't walk down through the woods and find baby powder trees. So you're not supposed to be putting that on your skin. You know, nature will tell us the truth, okay? Whether it comes to milk or the foods that we should be eating in what form, nature's not going to lie to you. Nature's been here a lot longer than this current civilization that's not civil anymore and that it's failing. If you don't think, okay, here's the thing I want to get across, if I don't say anything else, there's not going to be a crash in the economy. It's going to be constant like it is now. It's not going to be all of a sudden, boom. Because then it would expose the system too much. It's going to be just like it is. Just look at it like, you know, like the old movies where the planes crash, and then they cut to the people, and then they cut to the people, and the plane is still crashing. Like 5 minutes later, they come back to the scene. That's what we're in right now, okay? That's it. So the best way to prepare is with your health, is what I'm getting at. You can have all the guns and bullets and gold and money saved up, but if you don't have your health, you don't have your wealth. Period. Turn this up a little bit. Get a little more poker face music in the background. So yeah, I don't know why I got off on that tangent, but yeah. All right, so let me catch up with the chat. Health is wealth. Yep. Yep. There's also monetary wealth that for the most part people need to survive. So I'm going to put some ice. I'm going to refuel my glass here. Oh, those figs are staring at me. So it's 4:21 here. I missed it by 1 minute. Bummer. All right, so it's 4:21 and I have not eaten a thing all day, and I've had just some distilled water. I was going to go to the store yesterday to get more water, and see, that's something where it's not sustainable for me. I need to start producing my own distilled water. But I'm on the dehydrated side today, I can tell. The more I talk, the more I get dehydrated. But I was going to go to the store yesterday, but then work called and I had to go do an on-site job. And then today I started working on the Suburban. So it'll be tomorrow or maybe Thursday before I get to go to the store. Just in case you're keeping a log book. But I'm barely going to make it when it comes to my water. And I might have to be a peasant. I might have to be a peasant and drink spring water. I won't touch the tap water because I've tested it. But even the spring waters are pretty dirty. But yeah, distilled water only. That's part of the detoxing process. Don't brush your teeth with toxins. Don't eat toxins. All right, so somebody sent me a message here. That means my stream could be down. Let's check the stream, see if we're still up. So I'm gonna go to face page. I'm gonna go to friends. How does this work here? Up here, and then here, and then messages. Make sure we're still on the air here. Am I still up? Are we still good? All right, so I can't listen to that message without putting headphones in. All right, we're up. One in the chat if I'm still up. If the stream's still good. Yes? Okay, all right, good. All right, so where was I at? Oh, yeah, distilled water. I need distilled water. But you have to, everything that you do has to be clean as possible. Start with your water. Start with your liquid. I know 2 people right now that for a fact, I'm getting data points from, that have lost collectively between the 2 within the last month, I think close to 60 or 70 pounds between 2 people, just by taking out the liquid sugars. I know one of them stopped drinking the sodas, and I know the other one, I think, stopped the wheats and all that stuff, the pastas. So just by not adding but subtracting, you're going to gain. All right, I know that sounds crazy. Normally you can't subtract something and gain something, but when you subtract the 3 white devils, the milk, the sugar, the white processed sugar, and the wheat, those 3, you're going to start gaining your health back. And you'll start dropping if you're overweight quick. Trust me on that. All right, so Thai guy says 1, stream's good. All right, so let me go back up here now before I got off on a tangent. Bottled water, yeah, Steve said bottled water. In a perfect world, which we don't live in, as the world gets crazier and more toxic, I would not be drinking distilled water out of a plastic jug, but this is the plastic that doesn't leach like the other type as much, unless it heats up really bad. This would be glass, or I'd be making my own. That's my goal, is to make my own distilled water. Once I get past all my other challenges right now of I need to put a roof on the house, pay property tax, fix all my trucks, and $50,000 later and a couple of years later, maybe I'll finally get around to producing my own distilled water, if we still have a world that's at any point to where you want to stay having a clean diet. What is it going to be like in 2 years if things stay on this current track of dysfunction when it comes to our food supply, perverting the children, this whole transgender fad, Oh, what do we got right there? Perfect song. Maybe that's telling me I need to end the stream. Maybe that's it. Maybe we'll be ending the stream. Because guess what's playing? Stalker by Poker Face. Alright, Jared Allen says, remember I have fibromyalgia killing me. Yes, Jared, I told you this. I'm going to tell you this again. Friend me on Facebook. And I know Facebook is everything that's evil and all that kind of crap. And the reason why I say that, it's a tool that I can use to communicate with you one-on-one, where I'm not on the phone, and we can send voice messages back and forth. And then when we really need to talk, we can do voice chats, like a phone call. And it doesn't cost anybody cell minutes or data or anything when it comes to that. Not that that's an issue anymore, but I can talk to people easier on Facebook Messenger than I can on my phone, because I need to keep my phone open for work phone calls, okay? So I don't want to be on the line doing tech support with the radio station, or have somebody call me and those interact with each other. So if you just friend me on Facebook, click on the About page on the channel, friend me on Facebook, and I can help you big time with your fibromyalgia, and you will thank yourself just by clicking that one button. Just friend me hit the friends request, and then when I see you pop up, I'll accept it. And anybody that's got any issues with, if you want solar consulting, I can help you with your energy production, electronics, home theater. My device was listening to me. Anything like that, I'll be more than happy to help you when I have the time. And I help people all the time. Sometimes it might take a day or two before I get back to them, but that's what I'm here for. And it makes me feel better when I help people feel better. Okay, that gives me a purpose, and it's a good thing to have. People need to feel like they're helping other people, and that's one of the things I know that helps me in life, is helping other people feel better. So friend me on Facebook. That way we can have one-on-one chats, voice chats, none of this typing crap, because my spelling's horrible. I can talk, I'm not good at spelling. So if you need any help, friend me on Facebook and send me a voice chat if you can. Just click the little microphone on your phone, send me a voice chat. That way I don't even have to read it. I can be listening to that while I'm doing something else. See my point? So it's multitasking. So I think we're going to be, I don't know if I'm going to make it to the auto parts store today, but I really need to go see if I can get that line ordered. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is end the stream here, because Stalker's on by Poker Face. Love you all. I need to get to the auto parts store. Maybe I'll do a stream later. If I get the parts I need, I'm going to go live later. If I get to turn the key on the truck, and we'll see if the fuel pump works. All right. Hey Liz, what's happening? We're fixing to end the stream here. That's normally where I would play some sound effects and end the stream, but I'll stick around just for a second because Liz just popped in there. Solar in Canada is a joke. It's hard to read this on a white background. Needs CSA approved. Okay, really? You can't go and buy a solar panel off of Amazon or Northern Tool or from Craigslist or eBay and install it yourself? That doesn't sound right. Now, if you want to do grid tie solar, that's the way it is here in the States. You got to get permits to tie it to your grid, and it's got to go through this stupid process. It's got to be inspected, which makes sense because it's something that could cause issues. But all the solar stuff that I've done, no permits. But, hold on. All my solar stuff is not grid tie. So I do transfer switches. So I'm either grid or solar. Right now, I'm still solar. And I have timers where it'll switch to the grid, or I'll do it with my voice, the system I've rigged up, or it'll switch to the grid or solar with smart switches. So yeah, that sucks if you can't do solar. I mean, if that's the case, Canada's really going to shit. All right, Ty Guy says, have a good night. Fry TV now. Go live later. Hey, I wanted to show you something, Ty Guy. So hold on a second. Let's see if I can find it. Just give me a second. Come on. Let's see. Can I find it fast? I'm looking for an old video game that I would love to play with Ty Guy. Here we go. This is what I would love to do with Ty Guy. So I'm not into first-person shooters that much, but I wanted to play a game with Ty Guy the other day. This is what I did play back in the late 90s. Medal of Honor. The reason why I love this game, it's simple. You just start and you go for the most part. And the sniper in this game is the best for some reason. I love being a sniper, so I would always be the sniper in this game. That and Unreal Tournament. There, I got all 5 of them. This is the 4-pack. So, Ty Guy, if you're still watching, set up a server with, or don't make me do it, but I will if I have to one day. I just don't have the time. But yeah, that would be fun, because the stuff that y'all play is just above my pay scale. I'm literally, my muscle memory does not compute when it comes to the stuff y'all play, Ty Guy. All right, so I'm gonna get back to the chat before I wrap it up. Been here a very long time. I'm in and out. Nice to meet you. I guess she's talking to somebody else. Liz is. All right. Yes, you can buy solar anytime. This is what Ty Guy says, and install it. But yes, if you want the grid tie, where they pay you for the energy not using, but solar can be hooked up anytime. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, that's the same way here in the States. But here's the thing. You put solar panels on your roof, you're going to have issues with your roof leaking eventually. That's the worst place to put solar panels in the world. I talked to somebody yesterday. He goes, oh, I wanted to put solar on. And I said, well, don't put them on your roof, whatever you do. He said, well, that's where I was going to put them, because we got plenty of roof space. I said, well, do you have property? He goes, yeah. Put it on your property. One of my arrays is about 330 feet from here, or 50 feet, could be 400. The line running over there is at least 400 or 500 feet. So you can run solar a long way away from wherever you want to charge your batteries or use the power. And as long as you come in with a high voltage, anything over 130 volts, you're good. So get you a charge controller that can handle at least 150 volts coming in, preferably 250. The higher the voltage you come in, the less loss you're going to get from where you're going to end up. That's why the power system, our grid system, has the high voltage on the high power lines. The higher the voltage, the less current you lose, and then they just start stepping the voltage down. And finally, when it gets to your house, it hits that transformer on the pole. They jump you down to 110. They tie those 2 legs together. That gives you your 220. Boom, there's your dinner. All right, I don't know how I got off on that, but all right, I'll get as soon as possible. I'll get it as soon as possible. We can play. All right, so yeah, I kind of prefer Unreal. I can't remember exactly which one that I like the best. The first one was kind of lame. There was like 5 of them that came out, but I'll have to figure it out. But one of them's got really good graphics, and you can find a lot of maps and mods for. That's the fun part about it. But there are maybe live servers out there that we could jump in, or I could set one up myself. Boom and Bob's. All right, so boom and Bob's. Boom and Bob's your uncle. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, got it. Duh. Yeah, because I was just saying there's your dinner. Yeah, so I don't want to sound like an alarmist or the sky's falling, but in your head, visualize the old movies, literally when the plane was crashing, just like I told you earlier. And it's going to always be in that constant. I don't ever see the plane hitting the ground, because if the plane hits the ground, then the powers that shouldn't be, the big corporations, they all lose. So they're constantly diverting us and keeping us looking at this and that. You know, the latest stuff has been with Trump's investigative garbage and all this, just a diversion after diversion. They don't want you really looking at how bad we're getting screwed and how this inflation act that they passed, or whatever you want to call it, to stop inflation. So you can't poison your way back to health, just like you can't spend your money your way out of inflation, because you're just adding more money into that system and you're stealing money from this. Oh, and what are you doing? You're creating more agencies to be more powerful, to have more power over the sheeple, or the powers that, you know, the consumers. That's our new label. They've labeled us all consumers now. Listen to all the reports. Listen to the media. Now people are called consumers, okay? So, where was I going with this? You have to start local, is all I'm saying. We're not going to be able to vote our way out of this one, is all I'm getting at. We don't need a king. We don't need a hero. We don't need anybody that's going to say something and do something different. So vote local. Vote with your local as you can get. I always say this. Vote with your dollar. Vote with your health. Vote with your family. Then you can vote with your wealth, your real wealth. Because once you're healthy, you're wealthy. And if you're not healthy, then what do you care about anything else for? Because if you're sick, what good does it do to have a bug out bag or play prepper whenever you don't have enough strength to bicycle 15 miles in a fast? You have to start challenging your body. There's a lot of reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I want to prove to myself, if there was a, if the plane did hit the ground, okay, which it could, I'm going to stay on the side of it's not, because I think the system wants to stay alive just enough to suck everybody dry and kill everybody slowly and make a profit and take the money and run. But yeah, if the plane actually hits the ground, it's game over. So then it will be Mad Max, and I don't see that happening, and I don't want that to happen. But it can. It's like right now we're kind of riding that fine line, and don't prepare on the afraid side. Prepare on the empowerment side. So when you're preparing for something, do it not because you're in fear of something, but because you want to have control over whatever you're preparing with or for. So I always want to have much freedom as possible. So that's why I do what I do. I want to have my own power source. When the grid goes down, which it does a lot here, it'll glitch, and it won't stay off that long for the most part, but it'll glitch. It'll go off. And that's the most frustrating thing. The reason why I started setting the solar up years ago is back when I was doing TV commercials and editing shows for the radio station, the power would shut off. And then I'd lose my project. Okay, so then I got a UPS. I'm going to solve that problem, right? Power failed. My UPS battery finally failed. Power went out anyway. So all these things, I'm like, okay, I need to step it up a notch. So started getting solar. Actually got some of the solar panels from a friend of mine that's no longer with us, but Saul, his dad was into solar. So he brought me some antique solar panels over here, and that was my first getting my toe in the water for solar. They were gifts. They're on the roof. There's one on the back of the 65 Chevy. That's an antique solar panel, and I got 4 antique solar panels on the roof. Made back in the 80s. That's antique for solar. So, anyway. Prepare for what you know it's coming. You know things aren't going to get any better. But the best thing to do is focus on your health and your freedom. So, stop the addictions, you gain freedom. When you stop the addictions, you gain health. When you stop the addictions, you gain control and power over your situation. Then you are a better person to yourself and your family. That's where it starts. Local. As local as you can get. All right. So somebody says, are you busy? I'm always busy. All right. So anyway, I don't know why I started ranting about that. No gas at the pumps. Let's see. So for internet fry. So for the internet. Yeah, internet's going to be... Okay, here's where people will freak out. When there's no pizza and beer and internet. So those 3 things will cause an uprising. And I still to this day don't know why the only real movement to start is not doing something, but not doing something. So I'm going to repeat this. If you want to change the system, it's not what you do. It's what you don't do. All right? And I want to say this, and I want this to eventually go viral one day. But I don't want this to say, oh, well, he started it. But maybe I'll say this and somebody else will start it. And maybe we can all start it at the same time. Because if we all started at the same time, they couldn't come after one person. Okay? So it's not an action that you take. It's what you don't do to make change for the better. What do you think that action would be? What would be the number one action to take, to not do, to change the world for better? What would be the first thing that you could think of to make change, to take the power away from the politicians and the bureaucrats and the corporations, the Black Rocks? Money. Exactly, Stephanie. Money. So, what do I say don't do? Everybody would have to do this all together. All together now. Everybody out on the dance floor at the same time. No property tax and no IRS tax. Those 2 things right there. If people just didn't pay those, because you don't owe anything. It's all voluntary. Now, property tax, that's a completely different animal. But all tax is theft, okay? So if you just refuse to be stolen from, is what I'm getting at. If you refuse the thief that's knocking on your door or banging down your door, if everybody would just stop that right there. Cold turkey. No tax anywhere. Boom. You've made a change. We've all made a change. But that's not going to happen. Because everybody's in survival mode. Nobody wants to be the first one on the dance floor. And if you are the first one and the only one, they make an example out of you. And then everybody's afraid. So guess what? People are making decisions in fear. And when you're afraid, you don't make good decisions. But if people had balls and the guts to do it, the world would be a different place. I've practiced what I preach. And I still do practice what I preach. The property tax thing is a completely different issue, because if you don't, they come to your house with a gun, and it's happened to me before. And they give you a sheet of paper, and then you got a certain amount of time to pay it, or they auction off your property. And I got within days of getting my back property auctioned off because I was refusing to participate in a flawed system that's stealing from me. So, yes, property tax, and look at what they've done. Now they're growing the IRS, okay? You see how they're getting more and more control? And now they're saying the CDC, oh, we made mistakes. We just need to reorganize. We didn't know. We're going to need more money and more control over you. How convenient for us to make a mistake that we knew we were making. Hegelian dialectic. Problem that they created. The people reacted, oh, y'all aren't doing the right thing. And they offer up the solution again, okay? And the solution is, oh, we need to reorganize to get more power. See? We need more power. And that's what they're doing. More and more power. And see, it makes it look like, oh, we're just human. We made a mistake. But we're going to need more control over you this next time. Because the next time we're going to go even hardcore on it a little bit more. And then the kids are going to be still wearing those masks. And they're going to be afraid. And they're going to keep wearing them. And those kids are going to grow up wearing masks. And they're going to have kids. Well, we just put that mask on you anyway, just in case. So everybody's controlled by fear. So all this crap you see going on with the CDC and all these 4- and 3-letter agencies that's saying, oh, we made a mistake with this whole pandemic thing. All it's to do is to gain more power. Look how Fauci's jumping out now. See? They're starting to run. Okay? The cockroaches are running, but they're going to reorganize. They're going to be even stronger. They're going to come after you even more. That's all I'm saying. And if you have a healthy immune system, you don't need any of their poison, is what I'm getting at. Because their poison is not going to help you in any way. Mentally, you need to know that you don't need that crap. So, yeah, and the IRS are getting guns and all that fun stuff. But see, that's fear tactics. I'm not afraid of the IRS because they have not given me any service. So I've paid them a ton of money over my professional career. And what have I received back from them? Harassment. That's it. That's all I get from the IRS. They're not cutting my grass. They're not brushing my teeth. They're not cutting my hair. They're not buying groceries for me. They're not cutting the property along the road because the county's not doing that either, right? But I pay them $8,000 a year. They still won't cut the grass in front of the road. So where is this money going to? Is taxing a mechanism to control inflation, to control people, to control, and to steal? Yes, 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 and yes. It's all of those things. Taxes, theft, period. In any aspect. We don't need tax to exist. Buy a product, that's what it costs. You're done. What's the tax for? A tax is a way they can hide stuff, change it, steal, bureaucrats, IRS, H&R blocks, all this nonsense. Make things complicated. It's just more power over the people. We don't need tax. We don't need the frickin' IRS. We don't need property tax. And I don't want to hear this crap. Then what are we going to do about the roads? We need better roads. I got high taxes and shitty roads, okay? So they're not fixing the roads. And guess what? It goes back to the whole thing I was talking about earlier. We don't need to be moving stupid people around fast. Okay? We need to be moving smart people fast and dumb people slow. Okay? So we need to lower the speed limit to 15 miles an hour because, yes, we're still toddlers. We're still little babies. All right? So we shouldn't be going that fast. And I'm not joking about this. There's a solution here to the problem. Slow the speed limit down so we're not moving stupid people around fast. Because the more you raise the speed limit, the worse the problem's going to get. More accidents. You're moving people around. You're moving stupid people around fast. It's pointless. You want a bullet train. Oh, that way we can pack a whole bunch of fat asses in there and get them over there as quick as possible to buy some Chinese crap so they can get back to their house and watch Netflix and eat pizza and drink beer. Problem solved, right? Everything's better because of that, right? No, that's not how it works. That's not a solution to the problem. A solution is, because there is a problem, is to slow down the stupidity. And the only way you do that is you slow down, literally, the speed limit. Lower it to 15 miles an hour. Because the majority of the people out there are too stupid to think for themselves. So we don't need to be moving stupid people around fast. Slow them down. And then take the intelligent, critical thinkers. They can have a faster speed limit. Okay? Eventually. But we don't want to do that at first because that would show that, oh, there is dumb people and idiots in this world that can't think for themselves. So we'll just have the speed limit the same for everybody. Okay? And that way it's across the board. You're not, it's not racist. You know, because you'd have this, oh, well, that's racist. That guy gets to go 60 and I only get to go 15 miles an hour. Well, you're not as smart as that guy. It's going to, you know, I could fix this really quick. Slow everything down. The trucks that are got the goods going, they can go the speed limits. They can go the normal speed. But normal consumers is what they're calling everybody. 15 mile an hour. Okay? And you won't need cops. Because nobody can speed. Just make the vehicles where they only go 15 miles an hour. Period. And again, I've got the cleanest vehicle on the earth. If you want to talk about this green crap, I made a golf cart run 100% on solar that goes 20 miles an hour all day long. On the sun juice. If you want to be green, Thunberg, Al Gore. So I've done that. Solar panels aren't clean. Solar panels aren't green. Trees and grass are green. You want a machine that takes carbon out of the air? That shit was invented a long time ago. It's called a tree. So all these jackasses I see talking about, oh, we're taking carbon out of the atmosphere. Like carbon's a bad thing. That's what the trees eat. Let the trees have the damn food. Quit starving the frickin' trees. Why would you want to take the carbon out of the air when the trees need that to eat? And guess what the trees put off so we can breathe? Oxygen. It works perfectly. Plant a tree, there's your carbon thing that takes the carbon out of the air. If you're so worried about frickin' carbon, plant a frickin' tree. That doesn't take anything but a seed. Plant that seed. Boom, done. Nope, but they want all this crap so they can tax you on your carbon footprint. They can make you think you're the problem. So the whole thing is plant a tree, more oxygen, better for the air, cleaner air. Okay? See how we've solved a lot of problems here? We've lowered the speed limit. Stupid people can't go very fast now. So, stupid people, 15 mile an hour speed limit. Smart people get to go a little bit faster. But at first, we're going to have to keep everybody at 15 miles an hour. And then once we get the brainwashing with that, then we can fix all these other issues. It would solve a lot of other problems too. Your work would be closer to your house. Your grocery store would be closer. Your farmers would be closer to their areas where the food needed to be processed if everybody was limited to 15 miles an hour. You wouldn't need airbags. You wouldn't need, oh, you mean you wouldn't have airbags blowing up in people's faces and killing them? Slitting their throats? No, you wouldn't have that issue. You wouldn't have the expensive airbags. You wouldn't need catalytic converters. So then you wouldn't have people stealing catalytic converters to sell in the black market. See how it solves a lot of problems? Just so many things. But nope, that's not the way the system's designed. It's going exactly like they want. All right, so I'm ranting about all kinds of stuff here. Somebody says, I blame women. I just, out of the blue, I saw that in the chat. That's funny. That is funny. That's just one way to get your ass beat. Oh man. Oh, I drive a stick. Yeah, and some women drive 1,000 times better than men. But then there's some, you know, everybody. I've ridden with dudes. That can't drive. If you got both hands on the steering wheel, I don't really want to ride with you. So that's just the way I feel. If you can't drive with like no hands, like most of the time, I drive with my leg sometimes. But that's the way my truck's designed. I can actually use my leg. But most of the time, I have one hand on the wheel. But yeah, I know I'm just being funny here. Troy says I've only totaled 5 vehicles. Well, knock on wood, I'm 51 years old and 0 accident claims. Now, I've been riding with people that have had plenty of accidents. That's why my back is messed up. Where I can't put my hands out like this for a very long time, especially if I'm lifting something without my back going into tingle mode, which means pain. Because of riding with a female that was going 70-something miles an hour and ran off a bridge dodging a black cat. Talking about karma. What was I doing before that even adds to the karma even more. I was just looking for trouble, and she gave me trouble. She gave me a lot more than that, but she gave me some trouble. But yeah, life lessons, right? That's karma that doesn't go away for sure. Somebody said, personally gave up driving. My mother is a terrible driver. Oh, nope. Is there anybody in the chat that I need to wrench up that has a channel? Is it Stephanie? Stephanie, don't you stream? Do you stream and drive a truck? Here, I'm going to just give you one anyway. Add as moderator. Maybe it's Stephanie. It was somebody that's just started a stream. I think is a female. Wasn't a transgender. And I hadn't wrenched them up yet to help them promote their channel. You don't stream. Well, take your wrench anyway. It's just to promote other channels. I'm sure you'll have some links you want to put in there. For some reason, you got a wrench there, and then you don't down there. Did your wrench go away? Add as moderator. Is there two Stephanies in the chat? That's weird. Anyway, 3 out of 5 were on the racetrack, though. Laugh out loud. Me too. 30 years. They're all hit me. Yeah, so anyway, where was that? 51 years old, 0 insurance claims. And I've owned 9 or 10 vehicles, maybe more. Used to road race. Had motorcycles. All that stuff. I survived my motorcycle days. And I was a crazy rider. I was a good rider. Fast rider, for the most part. Crazy. What slowed me down is I was coming from Austin one night. I was probably clicking along around 120-ish, 15. And I used to fly low on my bikes. And a coyote ran out in front of me. And I missed that coyote by, this much. And I don't know if you've ever ridden a bike and had that happen to you, but that kind of changed my reality a little bit. I slowed down. I was thinking, okay, that would have been game over. So it wasn't shortly after that. Probably 6 months later, I ended up selling my bike. Yeah. Just little things like that. Let's see. I've been blue. Let's see. Insurance, not. Yeah. That's another thing about car insurance. Then you have to fight them. Remember, all insurance is forced gambling. Okay? When you're forced to have insurance, insurance is gambling. And you're betting the insurance company, I'm going to have an accident. So I'm going to pay you. And they're betting you, no, you're not. But I'll take your money. So who loses on this in the long run? Well, people like me. I'm forced to gamble with the insurance companies because if I don't carry insurance, then some jackass could hit me. And then, what happens? And then I'll get blamed because I don't have insurance, or something can happen, or if I hit somebody and I didn't have insurance. And then you'll be sued underneath a building. You'll be gone. They'll take you for everything you got. So if we lowered the speed limit, we're back to the 15 mile an hour thing again. You wouldn't need insurance like that. Because if 2 vehicles hit at 15 miles an hour, a 30 mile an hour head-on collision is not as bad as when 2 vehicles hit at 70 or 85 miles an hour. Completely different reality. So you could make the vehicles work at a 30 mile an hour collision to withstand that without airbags. It's doable. So that's a whole nother story. But anyway. And this whole chip shortage thing, I want to say this before I end the stream. Stop putting chips in stuff. Done. Problem solved. My 65 Chevy, I can get in it right now if the fuel pump wasn't out. But it's out because I haven't driven it enough because the diaphragm dries up. That's a whole nother story. I might put an electronic fuel pump on that. Maybe if this pump doesn't work on the 91, I'll use it in the 65. That's what we're going to do. So if there's not enough pressure in the fuel injection system on the Suburban, we'll put it on the 65, and I'll just leave the mechanical pump out of the matrix. So what was I getting at? Cars. 15 mile an hour. You don't need airbags. You don't need car insurance and all this nonsense that goes along with it. You know, life insurance. That's not guarantee you're going to live. That's for the people that are around you after you're gone, not for you. Pet insurance, health insurance. Well, if you're healthy, you don't need insurance. So it should be renamed sick insurance because you're sick. So you're betting some healthcare company or some agency, I'm going to get sick. So subconsciously you're thinking, well, if I'm paying for health insurance, maybe I want to be sick. I'm going to eat crappy because I got insurance. And then they'll foot the bill. That's the kind of mentality that we're dealing with here. So it's not health care, it's sick care. You're not caring for healthy people, you're caring for sick people. Everything's backwards. So when people talk about the health care system, it's the sick care system. It's the sick people. It's not the healthy people that they're caring for. So it's all in the words you use. You want to stop something, take the word try out and the word can't. And you're going to stop whatever you want to stop. Trust me on that one. It's all in the language. All right. But it has a 1500 exhaust system. Rocks. Graham says, do you have golf cart insurance? No. 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 Nope. Don't need it. When I'm on that cart, I'm traveling. I have the slow moving vehicle sign on the back, so I'm traveling. I'm not driving. I'll tell you a little story. This is how much of a system. When I first got that cart and started testing my generation 1 of solar power on the cart, cops were pulling me over here in the town at the time. And I used to be the IT guy for the local police department in the city, but it was a long time ago. So I've kind of lost my street cred with them. And they're always getting new officers in and that kind of stuff. So I would be cruising down the street, traveling, in my solar cart, testing it out. Cop would pull me over. And some of them were jackasses, and sometimes I was the jackass. But most of the time, everything went well. And there was times where I had to say to the cop, when he pulled me over or tried to stop me at a stoplight, saying, told him these words: "It's a good thing you don't have jurisdiction over me, or we would have a problem." I said those words to him. I said, "I hope you're having a good day. Am I free to go or am I being detained?" And he said, "You're free to go." So it's all about jurisdiction. Well, another cop pulls me over. So sometimes you have to get into it a little bit more. And then sometimes the cops are interested in the cart. Like, oh, that's cool. And we'll sit there for 20 or 30 minutes talking about the cart. Or sometimes it gets to the point to where I made the local newspaper. And that happened. But I didn't go to jail over traveling down the road in my solar cart. And I think they finally realized that I'm not a threat to them. So yeah, I got some stories about that. I love my truck. I haul lots of things. Yeah, I'm a truck dude. I don't like cars. I'm not a car guy. I can't. When I had hot rods when I was younger, we would take our farm trucks and we'd soup them up and we'd hot rod our farm trucks. Whether it was a 3/4 ton, half ton, it didn't matter. My brother had a 3/4 ton hot rod. My friend, had another 3/4 ton with a 454 in it. I had a 3/4 ton Ford 4-wheel drive truck as well with a 400 modified engine. I pulled the engine out, bored it 30 over, did it all myself, threw a nice cam in there, a good torquey cam because it's a torquey motor. Yeah, we hot rodded our trucks, farm trucks, and we'd race them, street race them. 0 to 50, they were really fast. but they fall on their face a lot, top end, because they're geared so low. But yeah. Let's see. Steve S says, good for you, Fry. I guess talking about the cop thing. Yeah, and see, once you educate them on their own laws that they're enforcing, then everything's okay. But you can't be a jackass about it like I was sometimes. Yeah, Jared Allen says, hot rods and rat rods for me. That's why my nickname is J-Rod. Cool. Yeah, and I love rat rods. Like my 65 Chevy would make a good rat rod if it was a little bit older and a little bit more rusty. I need to find something rusty, but I don't have time to work on any more hot rods. I got enough to fix it as is and keep up with. It's a lot to keep up with. Today, I'm just kind of venting because of, you know, I'm coping with things right now, but I normally don't have any free time. And I was streaming while I was working on the truck. I should have already been to the hardware store, the auto parts store. I don't think I'm going to go today. I'm going to do some research and see if I can find that line on the internet, see if there's a part number for it, and see if I can get one ordered. That way I can have an extra one here to mess with, and then venture out and go to the local auto parts stores and say, okay, I can order this from there. Can you get this? That way I'll have a part number. Because like I said, I'm in no hurry to get that Suburban running, because when I get it running, it's going to cut into my other workflow. Because I'm going to want to go ride in the truck and listen to my stereo for a while. So it's going to be a little bit counterproductive, because I need to be getting ready for this dark winter we're heading into. And I need to get wood harvested on the property. I need to fix my wood trailer, get it set up to hold a ton of wood. It feels like we're going to have one hell of a winter this year. But it might not be, who knows. But I want to be prepared for it. I go into most every winter without enough wood. So I don't want to be out there harvesting wood in a snowstorm like I was last year. If I'm going outside when it's snowing, I want to be cleaning my solar panels or just streaming and showing people, look, it snows in Texas. Sometimes it snows a lot more than you think. Hey, look, my tank is froze over. We can throw sticks across the tank and they don't sink. It gets that cold here. And pretty much every year it does. All right, Steve says, keep your greed, speech, and guns. Freedom of speech and guns, I guess what you're saying. Thank you for the stream, Stephanie says. Fry, bringing the community together. Yeah, this is a little bit longer stream than I intended, but it is what it is. I guess I got off on a rant and a tangent. Let's see, Lord Red says, earlier in the chat, Citizen Soldier gave you the name of a company. Well, shit. This is being archived with Nightbot. Let me see if I can find Citizen's chat. The problem with looking at chat on the phone, if you quit scrolling down, it'll jump all the way back as soon as somebody puts a new chat in. So let me see if I can find it. So Citizen, if you're still there, can you put one in the chat? You're trying to get my attention maybe? I don't know. I don't see it. Must have been a while back. Yeah. So if I let the chat go, it normally just pops back up. There it goes. Boom. All right. So Pat says, you think ahead. Good common sense, Fry. Cool. Yeah, if I put my hand right here, it has enough background where I can read the text, because white on some of the white part of the walls, I guess I could do this. That would help a little bit, so that, because the chat is over here for me. So if I got a black background, I can see the white chat better. Well, I installed this wood stove in 2009, and I did it all myself. I had to have help lifting it in the house, and I think a friend of mine, he helped me lift it up on that pedestal there, because I put it up on an elevation, and he actually made this little metal thing that's under the wood stove. So this metal framing right here sits on top of these cinder blocks, because I wanted it off the ground just because of my back and my knees. And I know I sound like an old person, but I really do have a really bad back, and my right knee has been messed up since a job injury. Just working on ladders too much for my whole career, being a cable guy and that kind of stuff. But yeah, my right knee is, sometimes I can't even stand on it. But when I ride my bike, it's fine. Same way with my back. But yeah, I cannot lift heavy batteries. I just brushing my teeth or holding out something in front of me, even working on the stereo system last night, major back pain. But I don't take anything for it, and that's just the way it's going to be. I'm not going to be addicted to drugs just because my body says, "Oh, you got a nerve issue there." All right, so yeah, the wood stove, it's a pro to have because that's all the heat I have in the wintertime. And I have these little electric stoves that I can hook up to the solar. So if there's a day where maybe I just want to warm my hands, I won't crank up the wood stove. Now that I'm single again, I'll probably run the wood stove a lot less, and I'll run it more as a treat. And maybe we'll do fireside chat by the wood stove this winter. Because you know how everybody's got fires right now. Brett's got fires, fireside chat, and Cowboys Mosh, there was a guy that had a fire on his panel last night. So in the wintertime, I'll be stuck in the house. Maybe we'll do a stream right here by the wood stove and make some hot tea or coffee from the wood stove. Maybe we'll cook on the wood stove. Oh, that's another cool thing. I use the wood stove to cook on in the wintertime. So instead of running my stove or whatever there, I won't even have to fire up the butane. We can cook on the wood stove. So that'll be an excuse for me to fire the wood stove up. And to cook meat and stuff like that, you want to get a pretty good fire going in there. If you're just doing eggs, you don't need that much. So yeah, wood stove is an asset. The property produces tons of wood for me. I just got to go out and get it. That's a pro of putting the tank out there. With the tank, it's collecting all this water, and you got the creek willows that grow around the water, and then those trees die off. I can go harvest that wood. It works perfect in the wood stove. I even burn pecan wood in there sometimes. So yeah. Mosh cane. Let's see. Steve says mosh, cane, and fry. Lepord. Jeff Lepard, talking about Travel Fund 69. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Yep. I guess you would call those legends, or what are they calling them now? Popular channels. It's funny when I go into a chat room and I hear other streamers say there's a celebrity in the chat room. Okay, whatever. I'm just a normal person with abnormal thoughts. All right, so that's the difference between me and most people. Normal person, not normal thoughts. Like the whole 15-mile-an-hour thing. Yes, Jeff. Yeah. All right. So yeah, you're talking about Lincoln Kane, Cowboys Mosh, Travel Fund 69, Fry TV Now. Yeah. So what was the comment before that then? What made you say that? Nightbot. Let's see. Your setup. Your setup. Awesome try for all. Let's see. Your setup is awesome, Fry. I'm getting to it. The chat keeps moving. Steve says, your setup is awesome, Fry, for all you do. Well, yeah, I guess what I was getting at is I was trying to whine a little bit. So it's a lot to do for one person. So I do everything. Keep the lights on now. Everything. Cut the grass, even though I cut the grass before. Really, the only thing that's changed is my financial situation. I'm still doing, for the most part, the same things I did before when she was here, but there's just not dual income anymore. So now I'm having to focus on things a little bit different than I used to. So that's all it is. And it's just monetary crap. I mean, if you got your health, you got your wealth. So yeah. Yeah, Steve, we're all legends, exactly. Yeah, anybody that's seeking truth to me is a good person. So think outside the box, think for yourself, question authority, and trust no one for the most part. All right, let's see. Computer, play Stalker by Poker Face from Plex. Ziggy, turn on TV time. Ooh, did you hear that? Turned on all my speakers. Love you all. We're going to listen to a Poker Face with this system here. Look at the face in the middle of the screen. Somebody pointed that out to me the other day. Love you all. Like I said, the next time I'll go live for sure is whenever I'm turning the key on the Suburban when we're testing out the fuel pump. And if you got a channel you want to promote, put it in the chat right now.
Adios, mofo.